and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Hollywood After Dark, episode number 79 for the 17th of September 2021 tonight. Because there ain't much going on in the Hollywood land. It's call-ins. I want to hear what you have to say about things. I want to hear your opinions on stuff, and we're going to be spending a little bit of time getting to know you, the viewer, while you get to listen to me fawn over you, the badass. All right, guys, let's get the hell into it. Hey everyone, how you guys doing? Welcome to the show. I know that I wasn't on last night. I apologize for that. I meant to be. I wasn't feeling very well. I actually ended up falling asleep until around 10 p.m. last night when I got a call from Mad Max the Mandalorian. He's like, "Are you streaming?" I'm like, no. I needed a night off. I'm still not feeling very great tonight, but we'll go through. We'll see where it's at. I see the back room is already filling up with people. We have a few spots left if you want to get in the waiting list. But before we really dive in, I do need to give a shout out to Rhea, kick-ass moderator, now badass YouTube channel member. Thank you so much for that, Rhea. In fact, even I saw that pop up, and one of the reasons why I'm a little bit late is that I wanted to make sure I added your name to the list here. I wanted to make sure I got it in there before we went live, so then you would know that I appreciate you, as I appreciate all of the Hollywood After Dark channel members. You guys are great. You guys are really growing, keeping the channel afloat during the lean ad revenue times, because YouTube, I don't know, it's terrible for that these days. But just to let everyone know, if you want to get your name on the board, soon to be another sheet of paper. Moving over to a couple different slots. You should do that. Link in the video description. And this month we're going to be giving away Drunken Master to Jackie Chan. Doing Jackie Chan stuff. Actually, it's one of his better movies. It's one of my personal favorites. So to get in on that one, you got about another 13 days. And just do that. Become a channel member. Drop a super chat. All good. Let me chit-chat with the chat for a minute before we get into the calls. So real quick thing for the calls. If you guys want to call in, I hope you do. Remember, have a topic, try to keep it on point, and let's try to keep it moving. You know, there are people that will call in that will probably not necessarily have that, but you're going to have time, figure it out, and go from there. So I appreciate that very much. Real Elmo Cinema here with 2 bones. Thank you, buddy. Hashtag late show with Matt Jarbo. That is 100%. Thank you very much for that there. I appreciate it. I did see a comment here from Donovan. There we go. Right up here at the top, talking about this whole Gabby situation. Now, if you don't know what he's talking about, that's okay. There is a missing girl, a 22-year-old kind of van influencer, van lifestyle blogger, Gabby Petito, who actually went missing at the tail end of last month. And I did a video on it today, what we know about it. Some stuff has happened. Literally, check this out. I spent like a couple hours researching and preparing a script and then recording it and everything else for the podcast. And then as I hit publish, I'm like, all right, cool, I'm feeling good about it. And then all of a sudden I find out like more stuff went down. Like, not enough to like pull the video and update it, but enough to go, son of a bitch. This is what happens when you cover current events, which is why I don't always recommend doing it, especially when you're talking about someone who has gone missing. Anyway, that I can link to that if people want to listen to that one. That will be, I can do that in the video description as we get further into the night. I just wanted to address Donovan because I'm pretty sure Donovan has sent me a voicemail talking about it as well. Yeah, Bite Me says now the prime suspect is MIA. I know, I was just reading that apparently he is in like the woods behind the house. I don't quite know. No, that's not Elmo. That is not me in the thumbnail. Sorry, buddy. That's not me in the thumbnail. I literally just Googled like man excited and that's what popped up. So, all right. Let us dive into the first person. We have a decent crew here pulling up in the back. First up, we've got, the non-Kino cinephile. What's up, man?
Here we go. How we doing, man? You doing good tonight, Matt? I heard you were feeling kind of ill, man. You feeling good?
I'm okay. I'm on not new medication, but my medication was upped. And I've been having like some reactionary issues with that. Like I'm like, I think that's what it was. Cause like yesterday it was like, Yesterday, this is gonna sound weird. I get really my sinuses get like really impacted by weather change.
Okay.
And yesterday was kind of like the last day of summer here in
Oh yeah.
Washington.
Oh yeah, that's right. I live in Washington, if you
Yeah.
buddy.
Yeah, that's right. So down, well, do you know how bad the weather is down here in Olympia tonight? It's
I
like the
mean,
power
like
already went out.
it's fucking wet like outside where I am, and I'm about to move to LA in like a couple of days, so that's gonna be different. But yeah, I totally understand, man. I totally get it, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, my power already went out tonight. So if it goes out again,
Oof.
everyone should know that it might cut out again. That could happen. So I was a little bit worried. I'm like, God, do I go live? Do I talk to people? But yeah, so I was feeling under the weather. I just played video games last night.
Under the weather.
Chilled out.
Got it.
Yeah, a little bit. But I think that's what it was. But because it's always like a pressure shift, and that always messes with me. I don't think it's COVID. I don't feel like it's COVID. So I don't know. Other than that, though, I think I'm okay.
Yeah. So I getting off that topic here. So there were like two topics I wanted to dive in a few on. I'm pretty sure they're pretty both nice, juicy ones we could talk about. So I'm guessing you heard about the Denis Villeneuve Marvel comments. I mean, I'm honestly not even like that like enthralled by him. I'm not even like angry. I'm just whatever. It's just he has an opinion on a franchise. So what? Like the most popular thing in the world, an auteur or director doesn't like it. I mean, that's not really news.
It's news because it's like wildly fucking hypocritical.
Is it though?
It is. Like, yeah. What was the last movie that he did?
Dude, he did
a sequel to one of the most beloved science fiction movies of all time.
Yeah, but like still, I don't know. I mean,
what movie is he doing now? It's a remake of a popular book.
Don't do that bullshit.
It's not bullshit. That is the exact thing of what it is. Look, I like the guy as a director, but when you come out and you sit there and you're like, my last two movies are effectively either a remake of a popular science fiction or a sequel to a popular science fiction franchise, or another adaptation of a book the last time was also done in the mid 1980s, right around the time that last movie I did a sequel to came out.
I mean, I agree with you. You shouldn't have said anything. I mean, again, I miss the days when like fucking filmmakers were like fucking professional. Like you would never hear this from like Spielberg. Well, I would have said Martin Scorsese, but he didn't do that either. But I'm just like, I don't know.
But Spielberg has attacked Marvel films.
No, he didn't. He like fucking defended Guardians. Get out of here.
No, he called them the new Westerns, which was not done in necessarily.
He said all superhero movies though. Like that wasn't just.
He
Marvel.
was referring to. Well, he was. Okay, listen, come on, really?
Are
you really gonna like argue the whole thing?
I am.
It's gonna argue Marvel. Like Spielberg, what he was talking about in that statement was it was being critical while still kind of being kind or whatever. He's talking about like back in the day, back when he was getting into the scene, it was all like Westerns. Those were really popular 60s and 70s and shit. And then from there, like the trend kind of died out. And he was saying that it was going to eventually do the same thing. They're the new Westerns. But
he's not wrong about that.
He's not wrong, but like with a movie, not the movie, but like the second movie that put him on the map, really, Raiders, was the idea behind that was coming off of serialized content. It was an adaptation.
That wasn't Westerns though, right?
That wasn't Westerns, but it was still serialized. So the reason why I say that is because Westerns existed in their own individual vacuum. Rarely did you have many sequels. This boils down to being a serialized, fear of missing out, must-see TV, which would be the exact style of programming that Lucas pitched to Spielberg on that beach back in 1977.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Anyway, again, I'm agreeing with you about just chillax, right?
I'm just saying, like you said, you DM me that you said film Twitter would roast me alive, bitch. I will fight film Twitter.
No, dude, you get eaten alive, buddy. Trust me.
I would not get eaten alive.
Yes, you would, buddy. Trust me.
What are you like? I mean, I'm like legitimately asking, like, how old you are.
I am not inclined to like say that, but
are you over under 25? Let's just answer that.
I am under 25.
You're under 25. Okay. What work have you done in film?
Well, I've actually talked to like a bunch of industry people. I've also done like 12 short films.
What work have you done in film? Not who you've talked to. Like, yeah, short films kind of count. All right. But like my question then becomes, it's like, look, you can argue this. Like,
I'm also working on a couple of productions right now as well. So
cool. And that's
TV
always
shows,
good.
Movies,
Productions are great. Like it's hard to get into. I
Yeah.
did a bunch in San Diego, did a few in LA. You
Hmm.
know, like my girlfriend's even like, "Hey, do you want to move to Vancouver, British Columbia?" And I'm like, "There's a good film scene up there, kind of." You know,
Yeah.
like
And
exit
actually,
the country.
not to get thin, but I'm actually doing a film connections program working with like real professionals in the industry. It's this group. It's this program I've been wanting to get in for a while, and I couldn't do it up in here in Washington. So I'm gonna probably go to LA and kind of like do it for a couple months. It's like you're getting mentored with people in the business, and I sent in a film resume a couple months back, and they really liked it. And yeah, I'm also gonna be having another short film coming out in a couple weeks, like October 30th, the 1 year anniversary of my previous film, Mr. Gold. So there you go. Did you actually see
Cool.
that? Did you actually see those short films I showed you, or
No,
no? Oh god
I
damn
don't
it!
really remember. I'm sorry. It's not personal. It's I
No.
literally am just like I get sent things all the time
It
from people.
feels personal. Just kidding. I'm
So
just
it's
fucking
not
with
meant
you.
to be personal. Like, we can send me a short one, DM it to me on Twitter. We can watch it at the
I
end of
will.
tonight.
I will. I will.
We'll play it up here.
But
Because
yeah. But anyway, sorry to get off the topic here. But I totally knew what you're saying. But like, I don't know, man, dude. Just like film the Kino files are fucking strong, man. I'm telling.
I love to argue movies, and I got called self righteous earlier today, which I disagree with that assertion.
I
I'm
would have
not
thought you would have
self.
been called a shill or something.
Yeah, I shill. I like being called a shill. This means I like
Oh,
something. I want to get paid to do it. You know,
yeah. There you
it's
go.
no, I'm not calling me a shill is like just like the weakest argument of all time. It's like you're just a Marvel shill. Like okay, wow. I
You,
like the most popular franchise on the planet. Oh no, oh god, please help. Send an
can I
ambulance. I'm dead.
can I always say some hypocrisy here? Because I think this needs to be said here. So like Snyder fans, like claim that like they like to be attacked a lot, and then when the media attacks MCU fans, they think it's justified. It's like, dude, well, I was arguing this with like a DC fan of mine, and he was like saying, like, "Oh man, MCU fans are the worst." Well, everything about MCU fans can be kind of applied to like Snyder and DC fans too, man. And he just like tried to like backpedal. It's like, well, yeah, it's just all this shit here. But it was like, it was he just like kept fucking like painting himself on a wall there. It's just like I just wish that like this whole the thing about fandom is that it's full of hypocrisy and people just fucking act like they're better than everybody else, but they really aren't. So it's just like a giant like circle jerk. You know what I mean?
Well, that's isn't that all fandom is generally a circle jerk.
Yeah, it's all fan.
It's
Like, it doesn't.
fan is like what short for fanatic. It's like you like something. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You're passionate about it. You want to debate it. The problem is that the people out there who don't actually give a shit about the fan, about what they are supposedly, allegedly passionate about, that have
I know
found a
some
way to
people.
milk. Yeah, oh, me too. That have found a way to milk this as in order to kind of like assert themselves as like like a vocal authority on the subject, right? Like a knowledgeable authority on the subject. But if you listen to their arguments, it's just copy paste bullshit. It's just rinse repeat same script,
Yeah.
copy paste stuff. You know what I mean?
Copy
What
paste.
Denis said about freaking Marvel movies, which again,
It's
and
pretty
this is
copy and
what.
paste.
But the thing is though, he's overlooking the core aspect of what it is. And this is what everyone overlooks every time I hear that fucking stupid bullshit argument about Marvel, right? It's all like, look, Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, fucking Captain Marvel, fucking Shang-Chi. They are different aesthetics in film. They are different movies. They are different genres even. But the thing is that they feel familiar. And you know why there's a homogenous feeling to that? Because that is part of the aesthetic that has been sewn into the lining of the MCU, because they want you to feel that this is an interconnected universe, because that has been their whole goal. It is must-see TV. It is, thank God it's Friday. What the fuck is playing on Marvel at the multiplex? That is what they've been able to do with it. And that is a very interesting thing, because no one else has really been able to pull it off in a way that is going to jump like formats and platforms the way that Marvel is. And so to sit there and to just diminish its integrity, its artistic merit by trying to say it's just copy and paste, literally, and this is not to you specifically, but
Oh, dude,
literally suck my dick, because it's such a boring ass argument that has no fucking basis in reality.
okay.
Period.
I'm gonna pitch something to you here because I know somebody that would so disagree with you on this, and I'm pretty sure I can't do this here, but man, that would be a fucking great episode. You versus a buddy of mine who who thinks the same way, who disagree with you entirely. Like I could DM him like at some point here. We could maybe get a matchup here. But damn, that would be a good that would be a good like Kongzilla versus
Who's the person?
Dom Griffin. You know Dom Griffin?
No, I don't know who Dom Griffin is.
Okay, well, yeah, it's not.
Is he
It's not.
pro Marvel, anti Marvel?
He's pretty anti superhero. I mean, he's not anti superhero. He's a
Oh,
big
okay,
comic
so
book
he
guy.
doesn't like success things. I get it. Okay.
No. That's not it at all, man. He's very intelligent. Like he's
I'm
probably
not. No, I'm not arguing the intelligence level.
like
I just look. I like to look for flaws in arguments.
okay.
And it's kind of like when you critique the fandom menace. It's best to not
Oh,
call
there we
them
go.
like,
Fandom menace. There we
I'm
go.
just saying it's best to not call them racists, right? Or whatever. Because like or set anything with an ist at the end. Because generally what it does is it provides them a deflective out. So if you give them that deflective out, it allows them to weasel out of the actual merits of the conversation because they can pivot. They can pivot and argue a specific point that is hard to kind of nail down in order to move on, and it ultimately renders the conversation moot. So if someone comes on in and they're like, Marvel movies are trash, and it is a very like plebeian response, it's like, why even have the debate? Because if you're not going to come at it from the perspective of like either what makes art or what is the business strategy here with the franchise, why has it been successful over the span of the last 13 years? There are so many facets to this that are wildly interesting to discuss. And there's a lot there that a lot of people tend to just overlook because they want talking points. Now,
Okay.
I don't know if this guy would come in it from that perspective or not. I don't know.
Oh, dude, trust me. He is very good at articulating like arguments, especially those type of arguments you're talking about there. And again, I would love to see this. This would be like this would be probably like this would be like Goliath versus the whatever thing. You know, I'm sorry. I'm like it's like super late at night here, so I'm kind of like blanking here, but. Yeah, I think you would I think you guys would I think it'd be a lot of screaming, but you know it would be entertaining screaming, you know. And again,
I like screaming. I don't do it very often.
and again, Matt, I'm on your side on this. I mean, I defend Marvel a little bit too much, but you know I understand where people's gripes are with it.
I would defend DC as much if they had their shit together. Like literally,
Yeah.
if they had their shit together. And that's really what it boils down to is Marvel has its shit together.
Yeah, I will say with DC though, I think the one thing that they have the upper hand up with Marvel is that they have like more artistic expression with their movies. They're like the Matt Reeves Batman movie and the Suicide Squad are two completely different films, and I think that's what's going to make them, you know, a little bit last longer. And again, you know, not all of them are going to be great, but you know, they will still be distinct though. And again, I'm more of a Marvel fan myself, so me saying this kind of says something here. So all you people in the comments thinking I'm a Marvel shill, chillax. And actually, you know, so yeah, speaking of the Phantom Menace, there's another topic I want to talk to you
All
about.
right, let's get to it real quick because I actually have a full back
Oh yeah,
back
don't
of
worry,
people.
There was just it's about the Simu Liu Reddit postings. I didn't really get a lot of attention to it, but
I read a little bit about that. I read a little bit. I read the main one that was going around where he was like, so I researched pedophilia and ... And as soon as I read that, I'm all like, oh fuck, I know where this is going. You know, like
you just saw it coming from there from a mile away.
The thing. Okay, so here's the thing with that is like when I first got into YouTube, there was like, you know, I was like doing more commentary, like yelling from my car kind of commentary.
Yelling from your car.
No, I'm not even making that up either. Literally, I would like sit in my car and yell into my iPhone 3G, and that was how I'd make videos. But there was a guy that I kind of connected with, and he put out this like really long, in-depth video, kind of breaking down the psychology of pedophiles. And I listened to it one night, and I was all like, "Wow, I didn't realize any of this stuff. Like, holy shit!" And then like, but I thought about it some more, and I'm all like, I'm still not going to defend him, but like, but I get where Simu was coming from, but I'm just not going to defend anything about them. Like, look, identify you have a problem, seek help. That's it. But like, I'm not gonna. You know, there's no empathy on my end. If your attraction is to children, I'm going to sit there and say, go get help. That's it. Like, and I don't want anything to do with you. You know, all on that front. And I still feel the same way about people who are into like Loli and Shota. It's like, if you enjoy drawn images of children in those positions,
What the fuck?
You've never heard of that? Oh my god!
No,
Then
I have not. I'm like a young man.
yeah. Well, that's a big.
I'm in my late teens, sir.
Yeah, that's the thing with some anime. It's legally protected in some areas where it's drawn images of children in those kind of positions, and there are people out there who like really get off on that stuff. And I'm like,
Okay.
and they say that it's a deterrent to acting on impulses, right? And I'm
What?
like, that's fucking gross. That's fucking gross. That shit's
Oh my
like
God,
like anything with
Jesus
cuties was like, even though I understand the commentary they were trying to make with it, no, I'm good. No, thank you. Don't need to be near it. Don't bring it near me. Cool beans.
I'm not even going to comment on that. I don't want to get canceled, sir. But,
No, I'm just saying it's like there are things that like what he was saying back then and what he believes now are probably two very different things. But when you're an actor going into researching a role, your job is to embody that persona that you are being cast in, right? So if his job at the time, I don't know what it was he was being cast in, but if his job was to play a pedophile.
Wait, Simu, there was like no role where he was supposed to be a pedophile. This was like shit posting on Reddit. It was like,
is that what it was?
It was super weird, dude.
Because maybe the role didn't go through. Did he? Because I mean, I read it and like he said he was preparing for a role, and that's a little fucking weird. I mean, look, I know actors that have prepared for roles that never came to fruition.
Okay,
but I also know a lot of actors, like, especially if you're a younger actor, like you think you have to go method, right?
Oh, yeah,
like,
go Jared Leto, go.
Yeah,
go
it's like go full. Yeah, go method. You do all that stuff because you want to make a name for yourself and doing the edgier content. Like the smaller indie films that could get picked up and really blow up your career are something that a lot of people end up doing. So it's kind of one of those things where I don't know the specifics of it. I'd like to I'd like to ask him like, what role was it and how the fuck did you get involved in it? But I think like a lot of the comments that I was reading over this Reddit thing were just kind of like superficial, really. And I mean, I don't know if I don't think I read all of it. Probably didn't read any of it, like as much of it as there is out there. But as soon as I saw like that, one of the women on Twitter who was kind of aiding this thing along was the same woman who was trying to get that white woman canceled for making that book about dumplings and noodles a couple weeks ago.
There's a lot of white women in this country. You got to be more specific about that.
She wasn't from this country. She was from England. So
okay,
she was a
Was it like J.K. Rowling or something?
No, her name was literally like Pippa something or another.
Pippa something. Like, that really narrows it down, Matt.
Well, I've only heard of like 3 Pippas in my entire. I know there's Peppa Pig, but this isn't the same thing at all. But anyway, the whole point is like the people, you can tell the people that are trying to get someone canceled. They were trying to call the Asian identity thing like an incel subreddit full of MR Asians, which I thought was one of the funniest things I'd heard in a long time.
Okay.
So wow, I think again, like if you are a teenager wading into the internet world, you have a lot to learn, my friend.
Yeah, so am I like Tom Holland Spider-Man? I'm just like going through the multiverse of like the internet.
Avoid 4chan and avoid 8chan. Just saying.
I'm a virgin chan, so I haven't.
That's good. Yes, good. You don't want to go there. You'll be corrupted. It's not a good place to be.
Yeah, but anyway, man, thanks for having me on for a little bit. Again, I love your channel. Again, I hope to have you on someday, and I'll get my buddy Dom. We can talk. We can hash this thing out, man.
Sure.
He'd love a fight there. But anyway, man, cheers, and hope you guys have a good night. Goodbye.
Thanks a lot, buddy. Have a good one, man. Thank you.
I'll send you my short film. All right.
All right. Yeah.
Have a good one. Bye.
All right. See ya. All right. Thank you very much for that one. Real quick here, I just want to quickly get to a super chat I saw from Simon here. Thank you, buddy. He says, John Campia would be proud of your comments regarding Denis Villeneuve. Do you feel dirty? I don't feel dirty. I think John and I agree on quite a bit as well. The big issue, though, is John has some really bad takes, and I'm just an idiot who can talk loud. So Bite Me Here says Boulder Talk Radio made me half the man I answer. Shut up, dude. All right. He's your friend. He's my friend. He's here quite often. Mad Max the Mandalorian, buddy. How you doing?
I was about to fall asleep back there.
Well, I saw you pop up, and I know you're old. I know you're old, and I know you got to go to bed.
Well, I got my ass kicked on a stream earlier today. Too much streaming, but I wanted to give props to the Jarbo coming back for a Hollywood After Dark call-in show.
Yeah, I've been getting yelled at for not doing enough of them.
Where's Anthony?
He's here.
Oh, okay.
He's here.
Well, I actually have a quick topic, and you know what? Thanks to the Hollywood After Hollywood After Dark viewers that I made 30 members and they're demanding a gene emoji, and that's from your crew here. So I
Good.
have to make a gene emoji. And I begged them for something else, but no, they want Gene. And it's Rhea here. Rhea's in the chat.
Good.
But I haven't actually an update on that Denny Villeneuve.
Oh, okay.
Now, did you hear Neil Blomkamp?
Yeah, did he tell like to shut up or something like that? Or
he said, "What a fracking a-hole."
I don't think he said fracking. I think I saved that tweet, but good.
Yeah, I like Neil Blomkamp. I wish he got more work. I really do.
Well,
wish that...
he would have done Alien 5 if Ridley Scott hadn't come in and cockblocked him for Alien Covenant.
Yeah,
and then he was in talks to do RoboCop, and then that fell through.
Oh, him and RoboCop would have been amazing.
Would have been wild. And then he just did that new one, Demonic, which I hear is not good. I need to watch it. And then he's working on his short films are great.
Well, I heard he is doing the District 9 sequel.
Yeah, District 10 is what he's working on. They're working on the script right now. I think he's trying to find a way to revitalize his career. And everyone wants a District 10 because District 9 was like nominated for Best Picture, and that was his first movie. So, and it's still, I just actually rewatched a fair amount of it a few weeks ago, and it was still a lot of fun. Still holds up real well.
Mm-hmm. And then I was trying to. There's not too much movie news today. I was also looking at Geek.
Well, I watched your stream.
Oh, that stream was kind of hot. And talking FNW.
Well, I don't know. It could have been hotter.
Well, I didn't think you wanted to be on. You weren't feeling good.
I was working. I was out doing deliveries.
I mean, is that what you mean? But it could have been hotter if you.
It could have been hot. Well, it could have been hotter. Lunga kind of played the classics, right? Played the hits. Okay. I love it. He called me self-righteous, and I'm like, God. Do you not listen to yourself, Lunga? Like all the time.
I didn't
like,
say.
I'm smug and egotistical. I will fully admit that, and I'm a raging narcissist. I will fully admit that. But self-righteous, please. Whatever.
Well, next time you guys could go be on it next week together. And actually, I'm going to be away next week.
I don't think you want us on the same stream, but
I do want you on the same stream.
I don't. Think
everyone wants it. That would be a fire. Taking them out at the same time, like get our own crew together to counteract the bullshit. Oh my God.
We don't have the numbers to counteract the bullshit, Max, and that's
boulders and daddies and masked men and.
That just sounds really, really weird. That just sounds really weird. Boulders and Daddy. What is this? Like a BioShock sequel?
Yeah.
It's like Big Daddy, Little Boulder. That just sounds like an odd fetish thing.
Well, I was also looking at the Ski Gossi poll. Although I have to differentiate that one's written by Mikey Slater or not. This one's written by Edwin. Live action Marvel Zombies planned, but could Zack Snyder be involved?
Oh, I saw that earlier today, and I'm all like, what? I mean, like,
I don't think they would make
his
live action zombies.
The whole argument there, right? It's like there's an article today that Bounding Into Comics had put out with this headline saying Batman was so dark, like the Warner executives were leery, right, in releasing it. And like Big Screen Leaks called it out. I saw RJ call it out, right? And I'm like, I went and read the article. I was curious. I'm like, well, who the fuck is their source? Their source was Mr. H Reviews.
Oh God.
Who says that he talked to someone he knows who his source, K. Since when did Mr. H Reviews get into the fucking scoop game, but whatever. And then they reported on that, and all they were saying was that like the idea that the Batman is a horror movie made executives a little bit worried. That was it. The way Bounding Into Comics framed it and the way that they put the headline is that it was like it was so bad Warner's almost didn't want to put it out, sort of thing. And that's not at all what they were saying. It was just that the movie, it's like dark and it's violent. And so everyone was getting up in arms over this. And I just read the article and I watched part of the video and I went, oh, like it's nothing. And then I see this, and then I see an update on Facebook saying, oh, Mikey posted a thing. There's a new article. Click on it. And it's all like, could Marvel Zombies live action, could Zack Snyder be involved? And I went like, the fuck?
Well,
so I click on that.
Okay, what do you think he would do it if it was actually real?
No,
think he would do. Okay.
No, are you kidding me? Like, again, let the man do his own fucking work.
No, but he always has that image of the zombie. Marvel
sure,
zombie.
he likes zombies. He's made two zombie movies like one was a remake, one was an original concept that's still relatively pseudo
I think
part of the other.
I think he would do like The Watchmen. He said he wasn't originally going to do that, but then
But
you knew they were going
that's
to do
also
it.
like, but
and
think
he's
about
like-
that. But think about that. That coming, he did Watchmen, coming off of doing. Do you know he was going to do Army of the Dead before Watchmen?
No, I didn't know that.
Yes, you should really watch my Podio commentary on Army of the Dead. Anyway. But no, he wanted to do Army of the Dead. They lined that up after the success of 300. That was going to be his follow-up movie at Warner Brothers, was going to be Army of the Dead. It had a whole different plot line back then, but that was what it was going to be. And then they went to him and they said, "Hey, we're doing Watchmen. Do you want to do Watchmen?" And so he's like, "All right, I'll do that one," probably because they were setting him up for like a first look deal to do another movie that he wanted to do, which is basically where Sucker Punch came from. And so and then after that is when he went off to go dive into the DCEU. And again, it's like, dude, look, Zach is never going to say no to a paying customer, period. He's already admitted this. And everyone out there is asking, like, I saw, what was it? Ping Pong Flicks. I didn't click on it because I just saw the headline today. And he's all like, oh, head of like DC Films wants Snyder Cut or wants Justice League 2 or something like that. And I'm like,
I can't even take it anymore. Honestly, I like these people. But then I see the headlines and I'm like, oh, I mean, I don't want to spin my wheels over nothing.
Well, no, that's the whole point, though. If that was real, that would be everywhere. You know, like I haven't heard that pop up on anything I've been reading. No, you know, maybe I haven't seen it. Today's been kind of a busy day, but I'm just like, look, the Warner Brothers is unlisting the trailer for the home video release of Snyder Cut. They unlisted it on their website. They, you know, it's doing well sales wise. It's doing very well, but a big portion of that, you know, is that they're also doing everything they can to kind of push back, you know, to hide it away, just to let it come out and go.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll
ever get my Steelbook.
Everything, well, they'll do a re-release or whatever.
Okay.
They always end up doing those. But it's like, eventually the whole point here is that they've shown no interest in moving forward. Zach signed a 5-year deal or 2-year deal over at Netflix. I know it's just first look, as people like to argue with me over, but it's like they've already greenlit Army of the Dead 2. They've greenlit Rebel Moon. That's 2 movies that he is going to direct.
Mm-hmm.
So you telling me that he's not going to be kind of locked and loaded and busy for the next 4 or 5 years? Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Well, the other thing is, even if you had a potential new project at Warner Bros., they drag their feet so long that you could get 2-3 projects done somewhere else by the time they're so slow with like actually, you know, pulling the trigger on stuff.
Yeah,
they
well,
talk
that's kind
about
of
forever, and Netflix is like, okay, here's your money, but go.
Yeah, and they're like, all right, we have a lot of other stuff going on, so we're just going to end up doing that. That's really about what it is. That's really about all it is. If they somehow come back around, and I saw William was in the back room earlier. If he wants to come back in, we could totally have another fight like we did the other night. That was a lot of fun. And they are clearly going their own direction. What they are doing, we don't quite know yet. All I can say is it pretty much, without a shadow of a doubt, does not include Zack Snyder. It might still dabble in the world he created, but it's going to be in name only. You know, and that's really about it. Whereas Marvel, again, like as I was talking with the Kino Cinephile there, I can never remember his name properly. It's Gailey Productions. That's who it was in the chat. But it's like, even he was, you know, Marvel has created this consistent, persistent world.
Yeah.
And that's what fans are asking for out of DC.
Right.
Just be consistent. And DC's like, nah, I'm good. I'm all right.
All over the place still. I'm looking forward more to the Matrix 4 than anything lately. I'm so hyped for that. I got to rewatch the original 3. That looks amazing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. So I know for me, the Matrix is what I really want to see.
I didn't want to take up too much of your time. I just wanted to show my support for the show. I know you weren't feeling the best. I'm glad you decided to stream anyway. So support this guy. Throw some chats his way. Bring in some topics. And I'm about to pass out. I didn't take a nap after work or nothing, so I'm done.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. Tonight it was like such a hell of a rainstorm that like I literally thought I should just go home. And I was surprised I had power when I got home, to be honest with you. So yeah, we'll wait and see. But all right, man. Well, thanks for coming in, Max. Get some sleep, and we'll talk again soon. All right, man.
Yeah, Gene out. Bye.
See ya. If for those of you who don't know, I said Max looks like Gene from from Bob's Burgers, which he actually does. So there is that. All right, let me get to the next person in the chat. He's been asking to come on for a long time. You guys know him. You guys like him. You guys miss him.
How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man?
I'm doing great. I just saw a card counter.
Oh, how was that one?
It was awesome.
Good. I haven't seen it yet. I've heard okay things about it from
My
some
mom
of the
liked it.
reports.
Me and my mom enjoyed it. So I celebrated my 38th birthday. I had a good 38th birthday.
Yeah, that was last week, right?
2 weeks ago.
Oh, geez, time flies.
And then I got my second COVID shot.
Good. And you pick up your new VHSs? Yeah, waiting to exhale. All right. Okay, that's one of my favorites right there. Street Fighter is great.
Yeah, so I'm doing good.
The Great Boldini?
Ninja Turtle. That's from I got.
That's the kids club thing. If I recall, that's like was like a Burger King thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, look
or
at
McDonald's. It's upside down. Food fight.
Sorry. Power Rangers.
Oh, Power Rangers food fight. Okay.
So I'm doing good. Any advice on how long do you have to wait to buy a house?
Well, I mean, so generally what you do is you find a house you like and you talk to a realtor and you make a bid. And if the bid is accepted, then it goes into escrow. It takes about 45 days to clear. You have to go through the process of clearing the money with the bank and everything else. And then you have to get like a building inspector to come in and take a look through at the house.
I'm getting a printer for Christmas.
There we go. There you go.
Look what I got.
Oh, good. I haven't seen that one yet.
But the thing is, I got a lot of tapes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You've been collecting. Man on the Moon's a good movie.
Yeah, I missed you, Matthew. How you doing? I finally saw Suicide Squad.
Oh, nice. I've been okay. I've just been really busy.
I've been really busy too. You know. Look what I got.
Oh, nice. Speed Racer's a lot of fun.
Speed Racer, so I'm doing good and everything. I've been in shape. I lost a lot of weight, Matthew.
Good. I need to do that.
I got my packages for my birthday. My mom, and I haven't seen Shang-Chi yet.
Well, if you wait about a month, it will be on Disney
Skylar.
Plus. On your Skylar, yeah, on your Skylar.
I finished watching Loki.
Oh, good. What'd you think?
Awesome! I can't wait for What If.
Oh yeah. I'm behind on What If myself. I need to sit down and watch it. It's just been difficult to find the time.
It's a very dark. It's a very, very dark movie. I'm expecting some orders from eBay soon.
Cool. Nice, Rocky V.
But I'm doing good and everything. And here's a movie that you've never heard of. This.
The Tekken movie?
Yep.
I've heard of the Tekken movie. I just haven't seen the Tekken movie.
I got that at a flea market.
Nice. You should find the Dead or Alive movie.
Dead or Alive movie. I heard of that. And look what I got. Yeah, Dead or Alive with Sarah Carter and Jamie Presley.
Yeah. Oh, very cool. Is that DVD or Blu-ray?
DVD.
Okay.
So I'm doing good. We're thinking about buying a house. It takes 45 days, so I'm doing good and everything.
Yeah, it takes the buying the house process like sucks. But eventually you'll get it, and then you know.
And part of my man cave. I was on Enosh's stream this past Monday.
Yeah, I heard you were on there. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then the guy's gonna buy me the Inspector Gadget 1984 Family Home and Entertainment tape.
Cool. Gotta love the old school Inspector Gadget. Do you know the theme song?
Inspector Gadget. Woohoo!
Very good. Well, all right.
But one more thing before I let you go.
Yeah.
It's very rare to find that. It's very rare.
Well, if you can find it, then hold on to it for dear life.
And I'm excited for Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh, we all are. Very much.
I'm getting a ticket for that.
All right, man. Well, hey, thanks for coming by, Anthony. We'll talk again soon, buddy. Thank you. All right. Funny thing is, I was reading a thing today about Spider-Man No Way Home. It was actually really about Venom 2, and like Sony at this point is just embracing the fact that the movie, like Venom 2, is like they already know the spoilers are out there for Spider-Man and I think for Venom, so they're just kind of like playing it up. I think I saw something where it's like on October 1st, the universe is going to expand or something like that. I'm like, just oh my fucking god, you guys. Just come out and say what the end credit scene is. Put it in the fucking trailer and make $1 billion during the goddamn pandemic. Okay, let's get to the next person here who's been waiting the longest. Let me go back. All right, we have the AMBW channel. This ought to be interesting. What's up, man?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm pretty good. Oh, shit. All right, now I know who you are.
So I had a question. It's basically supposed to be a one-line question, but basically, if you could use, picking from all the major genres of film, from comedy to drama to sci-fi to what's called action, if you could pick one movie from each category to describe facets of your own life, and which movies would you choose and why?
To describe facets of my own life, I would like to say Boogie Nights for my crippling porn addiction and massive hog. I'm kidding. I don't have a crippling porn addiction. No, anyway. No, I think, like movies that kind of spoke to me are, honestly, like the ones I like the most are like Blair Witch Project, found footage movies. Those kind of really speak to me. I don't know why. I think it's the mystery of them. I just like the idea of of a visceral mystery where you're kind of in the main character's shoes, and it's not interactive, but it feels like it could be interactive, and obviously that's kind of part of being a gamer. And that one I've always kind of found myself just drawn to that, like literally above all else. Like if I ever actually got into making movies again, all I want to do is make point of view found footage. Like that's it. I have no desire to do anything else. And I don't know why. But like other movies, I'm not too sure like how to kind of bring other movies towards like my own personality. I mean, like it's kind of a mix, like I'm a goofball. So, shit like The Hangover kind of speaks to me. Cause you get your core group of friends and you all treat each other like shit, but you still have each other's backs. Like adventure movies like Goonies. I've gone on some weird adventures when I was younger, and like, I mean, just like getting, like, what was it? One time I got in I got a call from the head of security at a hotel downtown San Diego at like 1 a.m. And they said, hey, your friend, because Comic-Con had just ended and a friend of mine was in town from Portland. And she had a nervous breakdown. And so she thought she had a room at the Hyatt. She did not have a room at the Hyatt. So the head of security called me because she gave him my number. And he's like, hey, can you come get her? And I'm like, okay. So my friends and I get in the car and we drive downtown. And I realized on the way down there that she's having a mental breakdown. And we were at the studio I worked at, eating dinner and watching a marathon of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia because we'd gotten seasons 1 and 2 on DVD from Comic-Con. But we also all got t-shirts of the show. And we were all wearing our t-shirts from the show at the same time. Going down to pick up a girl who was having mental problems that I had really only interacted with like one time before then, not on the internet. So when we get to the hotel, I pull on up, I walk up, the security guards let me in, and I find her and she's cowering behind the podium. And she's like, did they follow you? And I'm like, who? She's like, the paparazzi, they're after me. And I'm like, they're not after you, Erilyn, but why don't you come with me? We'll get you in the car. We'll find something to do. We end up, long story short, realizing that she's off her meds. She lives in Portland. She doesn't have the money to get a plane ticket. She can't get a hold of her parents. She's got nowhere to stay in San Diego, but she's got a friend in Los Angeles who would be willing to let her stay in order to get herself kind of situated and then get back home. So we thought, okay, well, we could put her on a Greyhound and like just kind of pin the address on her shirt, like with the safety pin, like, and $20 for a cab. But my friend's like, why don't we just drive to LA and go get her and go drop her off? So we took her up to LA, 5 o'clock in the morning, drove into the West Side and deposited her at this guy's house and then drove back home. And it was a weird night, but like, those are the kind of adventures like I would tell in these stories and the kind of ones that speak to me. The weird, how did this happen? How did we end up here sort of thing.
Okay. Yeah, I just thought that was just an interesting question. But let me see here. What was my next question? Yeah. So I guess like going forward, what is your most anticipated MCU as well as DCEU movies?
For DC, I mean, like if we're talking DCEU as a continuity, Aquaman 2 or Shazam. I really enjoyed the first ones. Black Adam, I'm sorry, I'm just not super into. Yet I need to see some stuff on it. And The Flash, I know everyone's like, oh my God, Batman. I'm like, yeah, we'll see. And as for Marvel, it's fucking No Way Home, dude. Like, I know that sounds like such a simp, MCU shill answer, but it's Spider-Man. Like, I love Spider-Man. And it's not like an uncommon thing for people to say. But I mean, it'd be between, if they were like, look, we have a new Wolverine movie on the horizon, I think I'd be aiming more towards that, or if like Daredevil was coming back in a movie form, and that was like getting a Daredevil movie with Charlie Cox, I would be all on that thing. But for right now, it's Spider-Man. It's not, the Eternals doesn't look that interesting. And but Spider-Man is going to be very fascinating to see what they do with it. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. I just have one quick last question. I probably
Sure.
want really quick. So I personally think that Batman and Robin is a better movie than Batman Forever.
That's a spicy take.
I mean, honestly, like just to get the condensed version of it, abridged version. It's honestly it's because Batman and Robin has one tone, and it has the balls to stick. Basically, it has the balls to stick to that one tone throughout the entire film. Whereas Batman Forever, it has like somewhere in that movie, there's like a really good, serious, dramatic Batman film, but basically, like every other scene is just Jim Carrey and Two-Face just like hamming it up, like way, way, way up, and it's just that movie for me. Batman Forever can't decide what it wants to be, and so plus the villain performances are just fucking abysmal as shit. And then
that's why you want to see the Schumacher cut.
Yes, absolutely. But I have to say this. This is the last thing we're gonna say. Uma Thurman in Batman and Robin has never been sexier in a movie. Like, I swear to God, like that movie, she is fantastic in the movie, and she's hot as fuck in that movie too.
I completely agree that she is. I would say fantastic, but she's definitely hot. And but I mean, like, listen, if I had to choose between if I was coming at this from like a teenager and I was like going, what do I want to fap to? I probably would choose like 1988's Dangerous Liaisons versus 1997's Batman and Robin. And I say that because Uma Thurman, I think, was 19 in that movie, and you see her topless. So there's your Mr. Skin trivia of the night. No, I mean, look, she was fine in the movie. Batman and Robin, the biggest problems with that, I think, are like, honest to God, Batman. Clooney was not the right person for that role. And, I miss Val Kilmer. I liked Val Kilmer in it. I would love to see what Schumacher was going for with the original cut of the Schumacher of that Batman Forever. And I think he just kind of said, fuck it with Batman and Robin. He's like, they don't care. They're going to do what they want. They don't care. They don't care what I do. I'm just going to do it. And I mean, to be fair, Val Kilmer kind of backed that up a little bit. Like when he was talking about working on Batman Forever, because he's like, I could do whatever I want. Like, it didn't matter. you know, because they were just going to edit around it. Like that was all the studio film. That's what happened. So, but I will say this though. I think what trumps Batman Forever over Batman and Robin, besides, I mean, practically everything else in my personal opinion, the soundtrack. The soundtrack for Batman Forever was dope, dude. That was a banger soundtrack for back in the day.
That is absolutely. I don't. I agree with you. Like Val Kilmer is probably maybe even my favorite Bruce Wayne / Batman. I thought he was phenomenal in that fucking movie. Like I don't like. I guess because of his ego or other issues, you know. I guess he decided not to come back. But I thought, like, man, like if there's an actor out there who is underrated for their performance as Bruce Wayne, it's Val Kilmer. Like, there's no fucking question about it. He did a great job. Like, I just maybe, yeah, like I said, maybe my favorite. I don't know, second favorite, but whatever. But yeah.
No, I hear you, man. I hear you. But hey, man, thank you very much for calling on in. I still have some more people to get to, but I appreciate and just to confirm, you are Tom Hanks Ballsack 69 he right?
I cannot confirm or deny that.
Yeah, you are, buddy. I missed you. I hope you're doing well.
One day you will fart, Matt. I want that.
Fart. You know what? I fart all the time. I just, unlike Enosh, I don't put my microphone to my butt because you know what? I talk really close to my. I don't want to get pink mouth. You know what I mean? I don't want to like fart poop particles in my microphone and like rub my eye and then get pink eye from my own shit. I'm already trying to worry about COVID. I don't need to worry about pink eye. So if you want me to fart, we're going to have to go with Bronly fans. All right. Going to get my Bronly fans account going. Okay. 24/7 farting. Flatulence all the time. All right, man. Thank you very much, buddy. I'll talk to you later. Have yourself a great one. Thank you, sir. Have a good one. All right, everyone. That was the AMBW channel. AKA Tom Hanks Ballsack 69 Let me get to some super chats here before we go on. Duck Dodgers $2. Marvel's What If? What about? Why not? Well, I mean, yeah, pretty much. Like, why not this happen? Why not that happen? Why not? Whatever. You just what you want to see? Riley Reid? Is that it, Duck Dodgers? You want to see Riley Reid in Marvel's What If? Sure, that'd be okay. Anyway, we got Shogun Order here, $5. Thank you, man. It says it's funny that people at the time thought the Blair Witch film was real footage that they put into a movie. At least my friends did. Oh no. I thought it was real too. I'll fully admit that. I've talked about the Blair Witch Project before. I love that goddamn film. Anyway, and then fourth here for $5. Thank you. Says, have you seen the newly released trailer for VHS 1994? It is the fourth installment in the found footage horror anthology. Give it a watch. I haven't seen the trailer. I've seen the first two VHSs. I got to go back and rewatch them. The Succubus one from the first one was awesome. That was actually optioned to be a movie. I don't know if they ever made it or not, but that one got optioned to be a film. I need to go check those out. So let me see here. Okay. Jess here for $5, buddy. Thank you. Says, my friends harassed me for being too overhyped for No Way Home. We were left blue balled by that cliffhanger. Oh yeah. I've been waiting 2 years to nut, dude. I've been waiting 2 years to nut off that cliffhanger. So, your friends can bully you, but not here. All right, here you go. Here, you're not going to be bullied, except for your love of anime. I'm always going to give you shit for that. I'm just saying. But for Spider-Man stuff, you're perfectly fine, buddy. Thank you. All right, and then we got Real Elmo here with a $10 super chat. Thank you, man. Saying, I saw Batman 89 with Michael Keaton, and I thought it was good. H-Bars tells me to watch Batman Returns and skip Batman Forever and Batman and Robin because it's shit. Now, normally I wouldn't argue with H-Barts because he is apparently my boss, as he likes to tell people. But no, fuck that shit. Watch that shit, son. Watch that shit. Because you got to watch that shit to appreciate how bad Batman and Robin is. Batman Forever is a pretty solid movie. It's a fun movie to watch. That's the whole thing. Batman Returns is like dark as fuck for some reason. It's super dark. Unnecessarily dark. Like it's, you think Zack Snyder went dark with BVS, man. Watch fucking Batman Returns. Like, fucking Batman's a sociopath. But the thing is, in reality, Batman he's a narcissist and a sociopath. In reality, everyone's like, oh, let's whitewash Batman. Let's make him this like friendly, hi, everybody. My name is Batman. I only hunt for criminals. I don't beat them into fucking submission with my dick. Because he does that shit. And he's good at that shit. We always kind of overlook the violence level of Batman because everyone likes Batman. But he fucks people up. He's killed some dudes. Like that shit escalates quickly, and he's killed some people. But anyway, watch those fucking movies. I appreciate that. All right. Continuing on, we have Daniel Scott was the next person I saw in line. And let me just get him in here real quick. Daniel.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. Thanks for calling on in.
Oh, no problem. I have really one question. If you were a betting man, like had to do an old school pool, who do you think the cast of a Secret Invasion is going to be? Do you think there's a chance that Peter Parker or Shang-Chi would show up?
I mean, like right now.
Well, I mean, isn't Secret Invasion coming out in like a year or so? So I figured.
I mean, they're shooting it. Yeah, I know they're shooting it right now in London.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they plan on doing because to be honest, like here's the thing, man. I never read the comics as a kid.
Oh, okay.
Like I like the movies, I like the characters. I watched mostly the animated show because the way I've always looked at comics, and this is maybe this is why I defend Marvel. The way I defend Marvel. All right, and no, but I'm being legit. I'm like legitimately being legit.
Oh no, I'm a Marvel shill too. I guess you could call me.
Yeah, I mean, I know, right? We got to fucking stick together. People be kind of fucking like we got to maintain our calm and shit. But no. The thing is like I like sequential storytelling. I don't know if it's because I'm just like my stepmom once was like, I think you got a little bit of autism. I can't tell if she was being observant or being a bitch. I don't know. But I've always I like things in sequential order. I like things a very particular way. If I have to start kind of branching outward to really think too hard about where things are going or what's happening, I lose interest.
Oh, okay.
And so when it comes to comics, the different runs arguably piss me the fuck off. I'll do one shot graphic novels. So I think those are okay. And I know they kind of combine a bunch of them together for the individual stories, but but when it's oh, we're adapting this run and we're adapting this run and we're doing this, I'm like, stop. Create a cohesive world. And yeah, fine. Add the runs in, add that shit in there. That's cool. But don't make me run off and have to read all this ancillary shit. Give it to me straight, like a fucking book or a movie. Storytelling is generally a linear pathway. And the more you start to deviate from that, the more it starts to get confusing, which is why, despite me saying that Marvel is earning the ability to use the multiverse, whereas DC is just literally shitting in their hand and going, see you guys? The corn. They're not earning it, right? But it's like is the average person in the Midwest, I almost said the Middle East, in the Midwest, going to be able to look at a movie like this and look at a variant and just go oh, that makes sense. Even if they've seen Loki and they understand the concept of variants, how much is that going to play into this stuff? How much is all of this going to play into it where they're jumping and hopping and skipping through different worlds? That's my biggest thing with it.
Yeah, well, I'm not super familiar with the source material myself, but I think that the Secret Invasion, it's going to take place within the main, I guess, timeline of the MCU. But from my understanding of the comics, it is a big team up situation. And I was thinking about how you're saying that Marvel's created kind of must see TV. And I'm thinking if this show would have all the big people from the movies in it too, I mean, wouldn't that be the ultimate water cooler type show?
I think that's going to happen. I think there's going to be crossover. I just don't know with who. And possibly it could be Spider-Man. Possible it could be Shang-Chi. I think Shang-Chi would be a better bet just because his availability.
Yeah, I know the Spider-Man thing's iffy always, but
well, only because of the deal with Sony that we don't even know what that deal is. All we know is that it's Spider-Man 3 and one cameo appearance or one appearance in a team up film, and that's all we know. But everything else feels like they're expanding it to where Feige is, really heavily involved. And I know it's not all Feige. There are producers on these movies. There are creatives on these movies. But again, we kind of go to the guy because we know that the buck ultimately stops with him.
Well, he's the conductor, right? He's the Stan Lee of the movies.
He really is. Yeah. Honestly, they should start doing Kevin Feige cameos in these films. Just all of a sudden there's a random Kevin Feige that pops up like Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, people would be, I think some people out there would be a little bit pissy oh, they're just replacing Stan Lee with Kevin Feige. It's like, but it's like, oh, fuck Kevin Feige, dude. You know, like my children are gonna know who the fuck that guy is.
Yeah.
You know, like they'll be like, Daddy, who's Kevin Feige? Well,
Well,
child, I'm gonna tell you a story about a man with a vision.
To be honest, the Stan Lee cameos were different from the old Hitchcock cameos because some of the Hitchcock cameos you would miss them if you blinked. You know, Stan Lee let you know he was there.
Yeah. Oh no, totally. Like, I remember the first one when he was a hot dog cart vendor in X-Men.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, and I was watching it, you know, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's Stan Lee. Oh, that's cool. You know, never mind. Like here's like a naked Bruce Davidson just walking on the beach, and you're like, you know, like you don't care about that. You care about the man in the background for a second, and then of course that became a running gag for 20 years almost, and that was awesome. That was great that we got that.
He did cameos even before the MCU, didn't he? He did them in like was
Mallrats is the only one I can think of.
He didn't do one in one of the Raimi Spider-Man.
Yeah. He was in all the Raimi Spider-Man movies. He was in the X-Men films. Fantastic Four. He was in everything. That's why the joke was like he was the Watcher in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Which
to where
was one
it's
of
like
the funniest,
yeah. Which so it's like, oh, now he's established canon. Everything is I mean, if you think about it, that one shot in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 kind of opened up the multiverse.
It did.
At that point, it kind of was like the first
saw
hint.
Watcher, which people forget about that part. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and now I'm just seeing this thing right now. Apparently, Haley Steinfeld might be popping up in Black Panther.
I wouldn't see why not. I mean, they've really created an intertwined world, haven't they?
Well, I mean, they're shooting. Hawkeye has supposedly wrapped because it's coming out, you know, in like 2 months. But Atlanta Filming tweeted out a couple hours ago, either Hawkeye has not wrapped or Haley is in Black Panther, because they are filming Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And what if, I mean, you know, Riri Williams is going to be a young Avenger, right? Like they're kind of setting that up. So obviously, teaming up with Haley Steinfeld, I think RJ, you know, well, he says there, RJ says Hawkeye might be doing reshoots. Maybe
it's close though. 6 weeks away.
It's a little close. It's a little close for that. It's a little, I mean, I get it, but you know, then again, when it came to Rise of Skywalker, they were doing reshoots like less than 2 months out.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But hey, man, I still have a bunch more people to get to. Do you have any final thoughts? Or
hey, no problem. Hey, one last thing. Yeah, I used to live in Seattle. Check out that science fiction museum when COVID dies down. I think you'll like it. But anyway, I'll let you go.
You know, I'm just going to say this about COVID. The first person in the United States to die from COVID was in Seattle. I think the last person to die from COVID should be in Seattle. Because you know what? This is the Northwest, and we don't put up with shit.
Yeah. You know what? I've lived in Southern California now 8 years, and part of me kind of thinks that rain builds character, actually. I kind of miss
dude, tonight Rain was building all sorts. Rain was beaten down harder. Like, it was bad. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't see coming home. I was like, I know where some of the sketchier parts are for driving home that fill up, and I'm all like, all right, avoiding that. Because I drive a Kia. I drive a fucking Hamstermobile. You know, it's like, no. But yeah, I get you, man. I get you. Where in SoCal are you, by the way?
I live in East Hollywood. I live in like Little Armenia area.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know that. I know that area. Nice. That's over there by Glendale and Burbank, out by the Seventh Day Adventist. That whole area over there.
Yeah,
like that.
Kind of like that. I'm just a few blocks south of Sunset, actually.
Oh, nice. That's a good place to be. That is a good place to be. I miss it over there, but not during the summer. I'd love to come back just like, you know.
God, it's hot. And my building's 100 years old, but you know.
Oh yeah. I remember moving to LA and then just feeling like the small earthquakes that happen all the time.
Oh yeah.
You get used to them after a while, but it's like, oh wait, oh my God, the building's moving. Oh wait, and then okay. It's like every day. Fucking people.
Yeah, I'm originally from the Bay Area, but I lived in the Midwest for years and years and years before I came back to California and the Pacific Northwest. I moved all around.
Nice. I just love the West Coast. I think the West Coast is beautiful, and I like where I live, but I would love to live back in Cali.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know people like fleeing the state like it's gonna be, you know, like it's literally on fire, which it is half the fucking year. But I'm like, fuck it, you know what I mean? Like if I could afford to live there and like have a house, I would do it. Yeah, sure. If I can turn this into a you know, super popular late night movie chat where I talk about like pumpkin blowjobs, making pumpkin spice lattes. That's how you get PSLs is pumpkin cum. It's I don't think it's gonna happen.
No,
but it could. Anything is possible.
it's a struggle down here. Like you know that.
Oh
that's
yeah.
why part of me's wanting to get out, but I'm here now. But like because I live in Everett. You know Everett, Washington, very well.
Yeah, I know Everett. Yeah.
I was up there for a while.
All right. Fun fact about Everett for all of you out there, like why the fuck do I care about location shit? If you ever find yourself up in Seattle area, head up to Everett. It's not far north, and if you like Funko Pops, their home store is there. It's actually pretty cool. It's actually pretty chill.
I think Kenny Loggins is from there, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, fuck. Now I got it. Kurt Cobain is from Aberdeen.
Oh, true.
And that's only 40 minutes from where I live.
I've never been there though. I've never been to Aberdeen.
There ain't much there.
Yeah. Okay.
There ain't much in Aberdeen. You drive through like, oh, there's Aberdeen. All right, well, great. Where do I go to die? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But all right, man. Well, hey, thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and we'll talk again soon. All right.
No problem. Talk to you later, man. Bye.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Daniel Scott. Everybody appreciate that. Real quick here, Simon Session with $5, buddy. Thank you. Says Haley Steinfeld does have black in her. Just saying, I knew she was a sister. Isn't she like Filipino and American? I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that, Simon. I have no fucking idea. I have no idea what's going on. All right, here. Let's get into the next question here with just a random, very intelligent Drake's been waiting for a while.
Hello.
What's up, buddy?
Not much.
How you doing?
Barely staying awake. It's like almost 2 for me.
Well, they don't call it Hollywood After Dark for nothing.
Yeah, true.
So what's on your mind tonight? What question do you want to ask?
Well, first things first, I wanted to throw my hat into the Marvel is too homogenous argument ring.
Oh, all right. Let's do it.
I think what a lot of people don't realize is in comics, you can do something like Punisher Max for 1 year, and then the next year have Punisher getting his shit kicked in by Captain America in the Civil War run. No comic reader will bat an eye because they expect different tones and everything, different feels in every character. But when you're going to movies that have to appeal to more than just the comic book readers, they need to be similar tones enough that you buy a talking raccoon standing next to Captain America and you're just like, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's kind of the whole damn point is you gotta have the homogenous part of that to where the world feels complete and that it feels like it's ongoing and that it's persistent. It's like a television show. People absolutely want to be a part of that because there is like the water cooler, the fear of missing out, the conversations. And I just find it to be really funny that it turns into this conversation that people like who I don't think fucking understand what's going on. Like, honest to God. I mean, I know that sounds terrible to say, and I'm not trying to be a dick, but I just think sometimes there are people out there that I just don't fucking get it.
Yeah, it's just, if you're going to do a 40 film interconnected universe, there has to be consistency. And it can feel a little samey at times, but that's just part of the game.
Yeah. Well, not everything is going to end up being, like you have your Ant-Mans, like honestly, Ant-Man and Quantumania is probably like the one I'm least excited for. I mean, as much as I love Paul Rudd, and I adore Paul Rudd. And I loved him in Ant-Man in Civil War, and I loved him in Ant-Man in Infinity or in Endgame. I just felt that Ant-Man and the Wasp was just like, it was kind of okay. It was just all right. Like, what are they going to do with this? Where's it going to play in down the road? That's what I was waiting for. Where's it going to go down the road?
Yeah, I'm going to see that for Kang, mostly.
Yeah. Well, I think at this point, after coming off of Loki, I think that's going to be the big thing there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, who wants to see Kang? Motherfucking Kang and shit. So, yeah. Definitely that one there. But, all right, man, do you have anything else you want to talk about real quick?
Yeah, I want to bring it over to video games for just a quick second.
Sure.
The Knights of the Old Republic remake that they just announced. So apparently one of the writers is Sam Maggs, who...
Yeah.
But so, and that's why the game has been catching a lot of crap, even though they haven't even finished writing the damn thing. But I found out she's not even close to lead writer. She's just listed as writer. So I
Yeah,
don't think
yeah.
it's, I don't think it's
That's
gonna turn out as bad.
well, that's kind of the whole point. Is that she's not like she's just doing probably dialogue
Yeah.
and things like that. And a lot of people, again, the people that are freaking out over Sam Mags, like I remember when that GTA 5 video, that interview popped up, like, is it considered digital rape? Remember, it's like, what? Like, just fucking exit out the goddamn game. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, just it's like, like they literally, like, they pin you in a corner and then they just thrust at you repeatedly. And it's like, just fucking log out. Like, how fucking just hit okay, exit, I'm done, come back in, and then report the fucker. Like, she went to the news media to complain about people being dicks and griefers in an online game, and it's like, I mean, yeah, okay, is it acceptable to do that? No, of course not. All right, but it's like if someone is harassing you in a game, you know what? It's GTA. You pull out your rocket launcher and you fucking you yeet them out of existence. But like, it made like no sense. Like that whole article, like I was playing GTA at the time online, and I'm like, I never see anything like this in Grand Theft Auto 5 online. I mean, yeah, sure, dicks who like to fucking attack my cars, whatever, but it just felt like such a random thing. And then she's out there acting like, I don't know. It was bad. And, but I'm not saying like, but she's gone on to write some stuff that's okay. So, maybe she's changed her opinion. Maybe it's like, it's been a couple years. She's like, maybe realized that like you can log off and log back on again. I don't know.
Yeah, she's the one that created Rivet in the new Ratchet and Clank game, and that's a beloved character. So,
well, good for
but
her.
I kind of think that a lot of the stuff she does, it feels like she's trolling the shit out of rabid anti-SJWs sometimes.
That ain't hard to do.
Yeah, it really.
I mean, that ain't hard to do at all. Those guys, man, they have like the thinnest skin. Literally, it's just like a woman has an opinion.
It's literally getting to the point where you can't talk about anything political or in a fan in like nerdy geeky properties, or it's automatically SJW to them.
Oh, I know.
No
I know.
what
Like,
the opinion is.
they beat their chests, and they're just like, keep politics out of my video. And then you're like, yeah, but you're bringing politics into the video game. Like, what the fuck? I don't know. There's a level of hypocrisy there that they don't. It's not that they don't realize. They know that it's there.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't care because their audience isn't smart enough to understand it. That's my take. Like, really, if you want, this is the thing, is it's going to require like an outreach program to like kind of deprogram these people. It's like, I could just imagine like there being like a 501c3 and it's all like, all right, so our job today is to go into the comment section of a Doomcock video and provide fact-based evidence debunking what this masked idiot says. And like, maybe we'll pull someone out of the Matrix. Maybe we'll give them the red pill about
They're not going to listen to facts.
No, I know. Not. It's all emotion. It's all emotion, buddy. It's all it is. They just want emotion. They want to feel a certain way. That's about it. So
it's what pissed me off about the reception to the HBO Watchmen series.
Oh yeah, but then it was a great show.
Yeah, it's like, just because you're talking about race doesn't mean it's ultra liberal. Like, not once in that show did anyone say, "Oh, white people are the devil."
No, not at all. Not at all. It was a really well done show that dealt with a lot of really cool themes. And they kept saying, oh, the show is a flop, and it's like HBO's like, no, that's not the case.
Oh, the comic was never this, but did you read Watchmen? Did you see how much anti-communist shit was in that comic book?
Yeah, everyone, here's the thing, is fucking Rorschach was an Rorschach was basically an anti-SJW. He was a far-right lunatic. He was a far-right extremist. Like, that's what Rorschach was. And that's kind of the whole point, is like all these guys would identify as Rorschach, not realizing that it's like, you know, there's a lot there that they don't want to admit, but he was a far right leaning individual.
And the
And,
hilarious thing is, he wasn't even. You couldn't consider him a racist. He hated everyone. He wouldn't have supported the 7th Cavalry.
No, he wouldn't have done that at all. But again, you know what? The context, it doesn't matter to these people. But all right, man, I'll let you go so you can get to sleep.
All right.
I appreciate you hanging around. I'll do this again. I'll do it earlier in the night. Just tonight took me forever to get the hell home. So
I exaggerate my tiredness.
go get some rest. Go get some rest, dude. But thank you very much for your contributions to the chat. I really appreciate you tuning in.
See you around, Matt.
See ya. Thanks a lot, buddy. Have a good one. All right. Making our way down the list of people who want to talk. Just here for $2 says, watch anime, you'll love it. Find a genre. Nope. Thank you. All right. Let's see. Bite Me here says, I hate FOMO. Talking about fear of missing out. Companies used it to wedge people out of money right now. It's like buying digital mount before it goes away. So it's like, no, it's not slimy. It's establishing a story arc. It's establishing a direction and giving you ancillary content. The fear of missing out is like, you know, this ain't fucking Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Like it's a story. It ain't that big of a deal. It's not even like the wedging you out of money. They give you value for that money. You know, I'm going to disagree with you there, buddy. I appreciate the comment, but I disagree with you. We haven't done any Warhammer yet, Command Unit, but if you got something you want to see, we can check it out. Jacob here says, I missed your super chat. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Let me go back and find it. Oh, there we go. Thought on the new pictures of Shailene Woodley as MJ. Did they finally release what she looked like as MJ? I haven't seen him yet. So if you got him, DM me on Twitter. I'll take a look at him. But thank you very much for that. Sorry I missed it. My bad. All right, let's go here. Let's see. We've got Mitch, then Yellow, then what I believe might be Saggy. If Saggy, if that's actually you, let me know in the chat. And then John and Tony. All right, we're gonna get in here. Mitch, how's it going, man?
Yo, glad I'm talking to Etika's Ninja Review Tech USA's homeboy Matt Jarbo.
Yes, kind of. So okay,
I don't know. I just felt like saying that. I don't know.
You're like, I was gonna say some shit.
Yeah, but anyways, like, I'm sorry. Shit. I'm sorry if the fact that when I did my first voicemail call-in that I sounded like I was drunk or whatever. It wasn't that I was drunk. It was more like talking in front of a phone, like to nothing, just sounds kind of weird. So I was like spacing out a bunch of times because it's so weird just doing that, you know?
No, I understand. I think the voicemail thing is almost like a foreign concept to some people.
Yeah.
You know, because you're just all like, I don't ever leave voice. I just fucking text you, boomer. What are you doing? And I'm like, yeah, but it's like this way you can leave your thought and then I can play it and then we can, you know, like have that part of the car. Like,
yeah, I get you. It's just that, you know, like I don't really use voicemail all that much. But anyways, I got one thing I would like to ask you, and then also maybe another thing based on what the first guy was talking about. But
sure.
Anyways, so what do you think of people like Quinn Reviews who hates Monkey Jones, Vouch, H-Bomber Guy, ContraPoints, Vanderhall, that chick with the glasses, etc. Like those people from like BreadTube, like what's your opinion on them?
I mean, like, well, for one, I bunked with Quentin Reviews at VidCon 2019. 2018, I bunked with, we shared a room. I'm not even lying. Like, he was one of the 9 of us who had booked an Airbnb, and we took the kids' room, and I took the Star Wars bed, and I forget what his theme was, but
Let me guess, Garfield or something.
No, it wasn't Garfield. It wasn't Garfield. We talked for a while, and like we had a good conversation. The thing is, I think Quentin is autistic, and And he like, you know, cause he's hard. Like at one point in the conversation, we were talking and we were just waking up and we're just sitting there having a conversation and I'm like, literally like, I'm just like mid sentence. He gets up, he walks out of the bedroom and I'm like, okay. You know, I mean, I've been around enough YouTubers at this point to know, like, you know, some of us are more eccentric than others. And then like a minute later, he comes back in, he goes like, I'm sorry. I enjoyed our conversation. Thank you. And then he left and I'm like, he's on the spectrum. Okay. Like, you know what I mean? And that's kind of his thing. That's why I think his videos are like 3.5 hours long when they fucking don't need to be. And it's like, you know, he'll do these things, but it's like, that's his audience. And then the next year I saw him again in 2019. Didn't fucking write. Like he's like, he went, oh, hey, like you didn't even care.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, all right, that's fine. Like we didn't have a connection, nothing like that. But as for the bread tube people, these are like the more like socially left people. I don't know. I don't want to call them like communist or Marxist, but they're very left progressive types, in my opinion, at least. I think some a little bit further left than others. I don't watch a lot of their content. Like I like Vouch to an extent. Mostly because like, I just think it's funny, like when he yells at people in the same way with like Hassan Piker. Like I listen to a lot of Hassan Piker, not that I think that he's always like the smartest guy in the room or nothing, but I like his energy, you know, I just kind of like the bro approach to it. Maybe it might be some kind of like deep seated, like, yeah, you know, like male thing, right? Like, yeah, bro. Yeah. Fucking chest thump. Right. All right. Sort of thing. And I've seen Hassan in person. I saw him at VidCon 2019. The dude is a fucking mountain. All right. The guy is massive, but I don't watch a lot of that stuff very often. And mostly because like the politics is like, I like politics, but you know, I'm kind of out of that game now. And so I don't really know what's going on with those people because, you know, I don't want to deal with it. Like, to be fair, I already get enough shit on the internet. I don't need to throw fucking fuel on the fire on that front. Oh, we lost him. Sorry, I didn't know we lost you, man.
Yeah, I don't know what was up with that. Like, I guess because I'm on my phone doing StreamYard and
oh yeah,
like,
yeah. You gotta stay on the app on the page. If not, it kind of fucks up.
Yeah,
I'm hoping
because like, you know, it kills battery that much because it was like full power when you started your stream, and now it's like almost like a little less than 40%, you know.
Oh yeah, that was kind of funny. There's that video clip of like I was on Max's stream and we were talking shit about geeks and gamers, and he wanted to come on, but like literally my phone was dying and I had to leave, and he uses that as a win. But it's like if you've ever used StreamYard mobile, you know, for a fact it fucks your it drains it. But all right, man. Well, hey, I'll let you. I'll let you. Yeah. Real quick, and then because I don't want your battery to die or nothing.
No. I still have enough power.
Okay.
But anyways, like I just think like people on the bread tube, people on the Fandom Menace, like they're all crazy, you know, left and right. Like, gotta stay centered, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm a lefty. All right, I'll fully admit, like I'm a lefty, but I also like to criticize the left mostly because I fucking like I don't like how far some of them go. Yeah. And then I also don't think some of them go far enough. And I also don't like the way that a lot of people, you know, hide behind things rather than engaging in an honest debate. And that mostly it's on the right. Like my argument with the Fandom Menace is that it's never good faith arguments. It's always just pandering and hyperbole. But some people on the left do the exact same thing. And I'm guilty of it too sometimes. Like I totally will fully admit that. But you know, I try to be like, you know, I get told again, I'm self-righteous. No, I'm smug when I know I'm right.
Right.
You know, I'm going to fight for it. Or like you also, but then again, a lot of it is internet posturing. You know, a lot of it's internet posturing where people are coming at you. So you kind of have to like, you know, you kind of have to like establish this demeanor. That's what a lot of it boils down to. So, you know, but again, I think the bread tube is eventually going to kind of run itself into the ground. Right. You know, ContraPoints is nowhere near as prominent as she used to be. Right. Lindsay Ellis, you know, is doing her media critique stuff, but she was canceled for saying that Raya was derivative of Avatar.
Right.
You know, I mean, like, again, the left will cancel you for whatever reason. The key to surviving that is literally, it is quoting fucking Rorschach. You just, you look down and say no. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. Yeah, no, eat shit, fuck off. You know what I mean? Like, that's it.
But yeah, the last thing I was gonna say was like, that first guy was like talking about something about like pedophilia, and you mentioned like Lolicon and Shotokan or whatever, Shotokan, whatever. I was like thinking like, since people make the whole argument that violent video games makes people violent, what about like sexual video games like Eroge or these shoujo games or like erotic visual novels and all that shit? Like,
well,
does that make you?
Well, here's the thing with that, right? So this is kind of where they have been proven that video games don't make you violent. Right. Violent movies don't make you violent.
Right.
And I read a study when I criticized the whole thing with like Faye and like the whole, I made a comment about like pedophiles like Lolly and Shota and shit.
Right.
And people got real mad at me and they're like, no, but there's been studies. And I read like this one kind of the outline of a study that said that there is no direct correlation. And it's like, look, it's one of those things where it's like, not all Republicans are racist.
Yeah.
But all racists are Republicans sort of logic. Right.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you don't really see a lot of racist Democrats. So I know it's like pigeonholing.
Right.
Again, it's not the most like valid debate tactic, but it's one of those things where it's like, in my mind, if you like, I enjoy images of little children like this, I am not going to look at you like you're a normal person.
Yeah, I get
right.
That.
And you can do the same to me in regards to like my love of Spice Girls. Like you're a 40-year-old straight white man who loves Spice Girls. Goddamn right I am.
Yeah, like
not the same thing, by the way. That was just going for a really shitty joke there. People listening, like, are you comparing?
No, I was gonna say like I can understand if people are like into hentai because like how they draw their women to be like all cutesy and all that shit, but Lolicon and Shotokan, like, goddamn, really?
Well, here's the thing with that. Here's the thing to consider with that, right? Is like, there are unrealistic. So Instagram, social media puts a lot of unrealistic body expectations on women.
Right.
Right. So it's a lot of that unrealistic expectation where it's you have to look a certain way, be a certain way. Do you not think that the people who watch anime and they get off on those kind of images of the stacked anime titties, that it doesn't somehow warp their view of like finding women who don't look like that sexually attractive? Because
probably.
like it's kind of like this. It's like it's gonna warp. I'm not saying this is everybody. I'm not saying this is going to be a constant, but there are going to be people out there that are like, like that maybe don't have like the best looks, or maybe the most hygienically sound or whatever. And they're like, no, man, I fucking like, I'm a master in fucking World of Warcraft. I should get like the fucking hottest chicks. This is what I deserve. And it's like, look, dude, you may not get that because I don't want to say there's a hierarchy, but there's, I'm not saying you can't score it, but if your personality is shit, you're going to attract shit fucking people.
Yeah.
Right? If you have confidence, you're going to be able to find women like that because they like that. People, when it comes to being attracted to somebody else, they like confidence, but if you come in there as like these incel guys and you demand it, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it at all. You're just going to be alone, fucking your love pillow.
Yeah. That whole Faye Valentine thing kind of reminded me of like, Bleach, like there was like a live musical or whatever. They were going to try to like include a character that had very big breasts and all that stuff, but they couldn't find anyone like that. So they had to like find a way to emphasize her sexuality, like her not promiscuity, but like how seductive she is by like having her wear like a short skirt or whatever. So it kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah, I want to, and you make a good point about that, and I actually want to, kind of pimp my own shit here as a way to kind of bring it around. So, for example, I'm going to bring this up here. The other day, I did a podcast episode of Stranger Days called "The Woman Who Kills Nazis," and this is a woman, a teenager, 14-year-old, and her who assassinated Nazis during World War II. Her sister, her older sister, went into bars and lured out SS officers and took them. They lured them out to the woods and they killed them. All right. Even by her own admission, her own words, she said that her sister was not very attractive, but if she wanted something, she would get it.
Right.
So the whole point there is that, again, if like you're sitting there and you're at a bar and, you know, a woman comes up to you and she's maybe not like the belle of the ball sort of thing, but she's got confidence and, you know, again, people are going to respond to that. So that's kind of the whole point is like, there is, and I think there's a lot of unrealistic, I think a lot of people have a lot of unrealistic expectations when it comes to that. Like, here's the thing. What do you like, you know, is it, you just want someone you can have on your arm that's attractive, that elevates your status, which is a very selfish thing to want? Or do you want a partner you can grow with and have a good sex life with? Because at the end of the day, when the lights go out, everybody fucking looks the same. All right. Like when everyone's the same, when you're rolling horizontal on the bed. And if you can, I'm being like legit. And if you can find someone that you engage with in a way,
that. I'm just saying how you said it. Was
I like to be a little out there. I say this shit. It's just like the whole point though, is like, if you can find someone to connect with on that level, then you're going to see their inner beauty, and believe it or not, that will alter how you view their physical appearance as well. But we have people now that are just like, if I don't get like that, like, you know, fucking 10 out of 10, like an LA 10 out of 10, you know, 26, 34, 30, or what's it, 36, 24, 36. That was the old measurements, right? That like the perfect measurements were 36, 24, 36. And if you don't get that, then they're worthless. It's like, that is not the case. That's not how real life works. But when you watch these movies and these shows, and that's all you do is you watch these movies and these shows, and you see these very unrealistic body types, and that is what you want to identify as, it becomes a bit of a warping perspective.
Yeah, sex sells, basically.
You know what I mean? And like, and I've been there too. Like, I'm pretty sure I've turned down like a couple instances where it's like, it wasn't what I thought in my brain. It was because I was like younger at the time, and I was like, you know, but like, you know, later on, I'm like, maybe I missed out on something nice. You know what I mean? Whether or not it would have been like short term or whatever, but it's like, because I wasn't thinking like that. So again, this all comes with age. But I think a lot of people out there, I'm not knocking it if you like anime. I mean, I'll make fun of you. I do that anyway.
Okay, whatever.
But it's like, that's all I'm saying about that. Anyway, man, I can go off this for a while.
One last quick thing. Also, like, you know, since someone said something about like GTA, like I can confirm, at least with the original PS3 360 GTA Online version, like I saw something similar to that because of hackers like invading, like, you know, the whole GTA Online, because it was 2020 and all that shit. But anyways, sorry for keeping you up with my rambling.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I got about a half hour left until I got to call it a night. So I still got a few peeps to get to, man. But I appreciate you coming on, Mitch. Thank you.
All right, see you, man.
Have a good one, buddy. Thank you very much. All right, let me quickly get to some super chats. Andrew here says Jarbo Cop 2, the Jarbo that saved Pittsburgh. That's right. Not Philadelphia, not Philadelphia, but only Pittsburgh. Fuck the city of brotherly love. No, I'm kidding. Command Unit here for $6 says Necromunda hired gun launch and reveal trailers. All right, I'll take a look for those. Andrew here with another $2 says Sky Jarbo in the World of Tomorrow. I like that movie. I like Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow. That was a fun ass movie. I don't give a fuck. Simon here for $2 says my pillow looks the same in the dark. And no, I haven't cracked it. Well, I mean, everyone needs love somewhere, right? That's what I'm saying. Let's see here. Ada Prince says, I don't care, Matt Jarbo. I still want hot babes in my TV shows and movies. It's all about the fantasy, my dude. I didn't say nothing about the fantasy. I didn't say nothing about the fantasy, man. I'm talking about when people take the fantasy, put that shit in real life. All right. Like when you go to LA where these shows and these movies are made and those women live in that city, You see them everywhere. Believe me when I say that, like that whatever fucking wears off after a while. I'm not even kidding you. Just wears off. You're like, oh, okay. You know, like, well, all right, whatever. Okay, let's get to Yellow Jacket here, man. How's it going?
What's going on, Jarbo? How you doing?
Another day, buddy. Another day. What's on your mind, man?
Something I've always been wanting to ask you is one thing you've always said a lot of the times is that with the whole merger with Warner's and DC and everything, that they're going to be slashing budgets.
Yes.
Why would they slash budgets and just kind of looking at the guys across the street, i.e. Disney, they're obviously increasing budgets on a lot of their productions. Why would Warner Brothers do that if I can't see a cheap Batman movie or a Harry Potter movie, if you know what I mean. So why would they slash the budgets if the quality is not going to be as good?
Well, so they brought in Walter Hamada to do that exact thing. And they wanted him to get the budgets under control and to get them in under budget, because it's always the goal to get a film in under budget. And slashing budgets doesn't necessarily mean that you're slashing quality. If you can bring in the right people, look at Joker, right? Joker, $65 million movie, made $1 billion. Fucking original Justice League, $250 million somewhere in there, made like $650 million. So the price.
But wouldn't you say that's kind of two different? I mean, yeah, they're both quote unquote comic book properties, and I kind of say air quotes with Joker to a degree. But I mean, let's be honest, it's not like there's not a fight scene in Joker. There's not. I don't think there was any CGI in Joker.
Tons of CGI in Joker. Tons of CGI. Oh my god.
Well, maybe okay. Well, okay.
But it's minimal. What it is the CGI in Joker is building the aesthetic.
The city. Yeah. The overall the setting and everything. But
like I'll give you an example. You know what I found out yesterday? You've seen The Last Jedi, right?
Yes.
Like, when Luke drinks the green milk, the bottle was CG.
Really?
That was not a real bottle. Like the monster that the alien that he in the titties, right? That was real, but the liquid, the bottle, the beard when he had the milk fall on the beard, all CG. It wasn't real.
Really? Oh, okay.
Because like all I'm saying is like CG sometimes is like, what? Like why? Just put some green fucking milk in a bottle, but what I mean by that is like, essentially some of these times they overspend on these things, So that's kind of what I'm talking about with like the budget slashing.
Okay. I mean, I guess, I mean, I don't know. I guess I just kind of, I can't see them making a cheap tentpole property movie, if that makes sense. Like a movie that they expect that we're going to break this out over 3 movies, 10 years. I can't see them making it cheaply per se, but I guess it kind of depends on what your definition of cheap would be at the end of the day too.
Well, so here's, so like as movies start being made in the volume, because Warner Brothers did actually use the volume for like the Mandalorian for the Batman, a couple things were done in there because of COVID and everything else. That's going to help quell the budget, lower it down a little bit. A lot of other places are doing that too. And again, the streaming thing is where, look at, they're doing Batgirl and they're doing Blue Beetle for HBO Max. Those are going to have moderate budgets, maybe like 75 to 90 million. And those are moderate budgets now. Think about that. Moderate budgets for streaming. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but they should put those movies in theaters. But the problem with that is they spend $100 million or more or around there in marketing. So that makes it to where these movies have to perform a certain way in order to hit their goal. But if you've got somebody at home and they're dropping $15 a month for 12 months, which is what, $150, $160 for the year, right? My math is probably wrong. And that is something that is, hundreds of millions of people. It kind of pays for itself. It's what Netflix is doing. It's why streaming is what they're doing. All they need is just people to watch it and then to go from there. The reason why they're going to slash the budgets on these things, and that's not always going to be like that, but David Zaslav coming into it, he's there to run it like he would be running Discovery, because they expanded Discovery into different territories through streaming, like Discovery Plus and stuff. And that infrastructure is going to be used to move HBO Max into other territories in the world, because that's one of the things HBO Max hasn't done yet, is really moved into different parts of the world. John Stankey, the CEO of AT&T, remember, like, that whole merger happened because of a text message that turned into a 2-hour conversation. So if they're talking about like how buying Warner Brothers or Time Warner for like 108 billion, I think is what they spent for it, and they build HBO Max and everything else, and then COVID hit, that money drain is cutting into their profits for the telecom company. Because remember, the telecom company bought this as a way to sell the telecom services. Mm-hmm. That's kind of their whole goal, is they want to get into the telecom stuff. So if that right there is cutting into the profits, so they're selling off essentially the movie part of it to where that can still be its own thing and make its money over here. They don't have to worry about dealing with it. They kind of like lease it to a property manager. That's what David Zaslav is. He's a property manager. And when have you ever known a property manager to ever really overdo it on the budgets for anything? Because their primary goal is to make money, and they're going to look at what's making money. I know a lot of us out there like DC content. We want to see more of it. And to an extent, some stuff does well. I expect Titans and DC and Doom Patrol to continue, but I would think anything else that's currently in production for right now or currently being talked about might end up getting the axe, depending on how expensive it is. Or they might say, listen, for Titans and for Doom Patrol, we need to lower the budget a little bit, just for just to kind of bring in more content, because Discovery doesn't put out expensively made content. Look at the kind of shit they put out there. It's like IDTV. That shit is cheap. It's engrossing. It's engaging, but it's cheap. That's what
True,
they do.
But it's a different type of content, though. You can't say you would have the same.
It's the same mentality behind it, though. It's the same mentality behind it. That's what I'm talking about. It's the same idea. It's like go look at Sony. Sony is like, all right, we did the first 3 Spider-Man movies. They put a lot of money in. They made a lot of money back. Obviously, they had to reboot it, because if they didn't reboot it, they were going to lose the rights, because they had that contract. So they reboot it. The second movie comes out, does $700 million, and they're like, that still didn't make enough money to keep going. So they worked a deal with Marvel, and they're actually benefiting quite a bit from that. So it's like, the idea here is they're going to have to figure out a way to like build up the loyalty to this stuff. And they've been screwing the pooch left and right. I just don't see them. And I could be wrong. And honest to God, dude, I hope I'm wrong, because I'd love to see them do more with this. But I just don't see them at this point doing what needs to be done to get themselves up to where I think fan expectation is.
Okay, I can agree with that. I think sometimes fans create crazy. Well, and I mean, let's be honest, everybody's going to compare it to Marvel at the end of the day, just because of where they're at, and this is kind of the way the world works, just comparing everything to everything.
Yeah, I know. I do the same thing too, but like, I do the same thing, but I think in general, the way I look at it is, I love what Snyder has done. I want to see more of that world, but everything the company is saying is the exact opposite.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think it would take. It's literally going to be like Israel and Palestine came to peace before I think the Snyderverse comes back. At this point, it's literally going to take a miracle.
Wow, that's a take. Oh,
yeah, I mean,
that's
honestly,
a take.
I am a Snyder cut guy. I've donated. I've tweeted. I've done all that stuff. But at this point, it's just kind of like, to your point, Zach. I think if he did come back, it's literally going to be a type of situation to where we're literally going to have to get everything in legal writing, to where I'm getting 100% creative control. Once I start shooting, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to get. And, we're going to move forward, so on and so forth. And even then, I think there's still going to be an issue with it. And I just don't think he wants to do it personally. It's just going to take kind of like a miracle situation for that to happen. At least in my opinion.
No, I think you're right. I think it's like he doesn't have any, pardon the vernacular, he doesn't have any chains on him. He's free. You know, like he isn't bogged down. Like Netflix is going to let him do what he wants because all they care about at the end of the day is are people watching. That's all they care about. And they don't have 4 quadrant to release it. They don't, they have some merch they'll put out. Not even really any merch for Army of the Dead. Some of their bigger properties get merch, but they really don't do it for everybody. And they also don't promote shit, which is the weirdest fucking thing. But
yeah, I think it's because I think they promote their big name stuff, but not, you're not going to sit there and see. I think it depends on who's in the property, to be honest with you. If it's like a big name, like obviously Red Notice. I remember when the first trailer for Extraction. I mean, because obviously Chris Hemsworth in his store.
Yeah.
So I think if they have a big key name attached to the property, or whatever it is, the show, they'll put a little bit of promotion into it. But
yeah. Well, they did that with Scorsese. Actually, they did the world premiere.
You have to. I mean, they spent all that money. You got to put something behind it.
Oh no, they did. They did a world premiere at the Egyptian, and then they did this like Irishman themed party, like an after party, where like a lot of like the LA critics were at and stuff. It's a way to kind of hype it up. They spend their money in like the weirdest shit. Like they spend their money trying to woo these people that have no fucking influence. Like period. They'd be better off like flying an idiot like me. Yes, I am plugging myself on that one, by the way. Flying an idiot like me down there and going like, all right, why don't you watch it? And then why don't you talk about it with an audience that's engaged versus like, being just like a random blue check mark on Twitter that no one's ever fucking heard of. Like, hi guys, I gotta see Shang-Chi 2 weeks early. No one cares because like you've got like fucking 8 followers, man. Like, who are you engaging with? Your grandma? Like what? Okay, that's me being a little bit on the jealous side. It's me being a little bit on the jealous side because I've been trying to get verified on Twitter for years. They won't do it. They won't do it. So, but I'm verified on YouTube, not on this account, but on my other one. And I'm like, all right, it's fine. So,
okay.
But
one of the things I wanted to ask you also is, so with the whole China, I know you mentioned how China's kind of closing themselves off and kind of bunkering themselves in as far as movie releases and movie premieres coming into their country. Do you think that as far as like with the Simu Liu and the Chloe Zhao stuff, do you think that specifically with Simu Liu, do you think that if he's in any other Marvel properties in the future, which I mean we all know he's going to be, that would kind of prevent them from going into that market? Because obviously China kind of has a dying hatred towards a non-forgiving memory, so to say.
No, they really hate dissent. I don't know. I honestly like here's
like do you think Marvel would even consider like saying, hey, we may not want to put him in an Avengers movie because of this type of thing? Obviously it's going to be a few years down the line, but do you think that would be kind of a back thought in their minds though?
I think if Simu Liu goes on an apology tour for China, then that's the answer. If we see videos of him coming, going to Chinese social media like John Cena and shit, then he's going to be doing that. But I think in the meantime, what they could also do is just because the deep fake technology is what it is these days, they could totally just like deep fake his face, right? Like, could you imagine if they're like, here, like the rest of the world sees Shang-Chi as Simu Liu, but then it's like they deep fake him to look like Jackie Chan from like the 1970s, and then it's all like starring, and they call him like something else, and everyone's like, oh, he's like a spitting image of Jackie Chan. And like, yeah, totally, it's not a deep fake at all. And then everyone comes out and they watch it and they make a lot of money. Like no one outside of the Middle Kingdom would like literally like they could just do it in the Middle Kingdom, and the Middle Kingdom would be happy with it. I mean, like literally, they wouldn't care, and they could be blowback everywhere else. Why isn't he in there? Like, because China don't give a shit. We want China money. What do you care? Are you watching it in China? Like, do you want to see this version of like, do you want us to deep fake out Simu's face and put on Jackie Chan? I mean, I think the obvious answer to that is, yeah, duh. Right? Like, why not? But they could do that. And like in the next 10 years, they could just like change an actor. They're just going to change an actor. You're not even going to know. Right? Like, it's just, like that's how they're going to do it. They're going to be able to deep fake everything. They're going to be able to like, okay, like for Luke Skywalker, in the Mandalorian season 2 finale. They had the audio, right? His dialogue that he spoke was Mark Hamill's voice, but it was all created by a computer that just went through a ton of dialogue they had from Mark back in the early 1980s. And they were able to synthesize that dialogue. And that is not a new technology, by the way. Adobe has technology that they demoed a number of years ago where you can sit there and like have someone like me record like 20 minutes of me talking and upload that 20-minute profile to, or recording to, this program where it creates a digital profile. And then I can type out things and then it would find it and it would make me say it in my voice. And it's not perfect, but it sounds really good. That technology already exists. That matched with deepfake technology, holy shit, dude. Like there's a guy and who is named MC Jarbo. All right. He does not like me. He downloaded literally all of my videos to get my voice in order to have me become a rapper. I am not kidding. He put out an album using my voice that I have absolutely no creative control over and no financial incentive with. None. Because he lives in the UK and you can do this over in the UK. But he literally took my voice and profited off of my voice in a way that I have absolutely no control over. And I mean,
you got to give him a little bit of respect for doing all that. I mean, I imagine that's not a
no, I lived rent free in this guy's head for a long ass time. Like I thought it was really funny. Some of this stuff's pretty cool because, like, here's the thing: I can't rap. I would love to rap. So when I hear a rap song and it's of myself saying very abhorrent, terrible things, part of me is like, "Oh, son of a bitch." Other part of me is like, "God damn! If I had a good producer, I could actually get some good shit done." You know what I mean? Like that's kind of. But I mean, no. But that is the world. That is the world that we're in. Like that is legitimately where technology is. And it's rudimentary in many instances, but it's getting there. And in the next decade, this stuff is going to be, imagine this. And then I'll let you go. So I still have a few people to get to, but imagine this. You are you're watching a movie with like an actor, let's say Hugh Jackman. Like, let's say people are so desperate to bring Hugh Jackman back for the Wolverine that they go and they find a body double that looks identical to Hugh Jackman. And they just put dots on the dude's face, or they put a hood on his face, but he has the body. And then he goes into the volume and they film in the volume. So it's all through LED screens and it's all controlled and contained. And then in the post, they just deep fake his face on. They add his head. And then they go in and they find all of the dialogue that he has, all the ADR samples that he's recorded over all these movies. And they're able to put it into a machine and then just have it spit out the dialogue and then tweak it. Is he yelling? Is he screaming? Is he sad? Is he upset? Is he anxious? And then they're able to go in and tweak the emotion and everything else and then put that in there. And you won't even know that what you're watching is something fake, like that green titty milk from The Last Jedi. I mean, I know, and I'm being like legit, like it's a joke, but I'm being legit because that is just where technology is headed.
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely see that. I mean, shit, they may do it if they can't find a new Wolverine for all we know. And at the end of the day,
bring him back, 100%. Just have Hugh Jackman record the dictionary in as Wolverine, and then just do it. Fuck it. If you're okay with that, hit 1 in the chat.
But one last thing I want to leave you on is I think sometime last week I remember you mentioning how you said that Uncharted, how Sony was hiding the movie.
Yeah, it feels that way.
Well, I may or may not have seen a test screening of it. And
all right, so let's talk about this in hypotheticals.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say
hypothetically, had I seen this, I hypothetically may say that this is hypothetically the best video game movie, hypothetically, that has come out so far. Yet, I should say.
Hypothetically.
Hypothetically, of course.
Okay. And I would say, hypothetically, fuck you. You suck. Because you got to see it, hypothetically.
Hypothetically. And
Hypothetically.
H Sparks, if H Sparks, I know you're listening. Hypothetically, you can mark it down that today, September the 19th, I hypothetically said that this was the best video game movie, hypothetically.
Oh, that's great.
Just mark it down. Just mark it down hypothetically, so that this way it's there for record. You know, you can never sit there and say it wasn't ever hypothetically said. And, you know, we'll hypothetically come back to this.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to hypothetically revisiting this this hypothetical situation down the road, man. So I'm excited for it because I do want to see it. I love Uncharted, so I mean, I'm hoping. Yeah, I'm hoping it's good.
But Matt, I want to say I do want to end this conversation with this last point though.
Sure.
Thank you. I listen to you pretty much every time you stream. I work 2 jobs. I work for the banking world in the morning time, and for the world's richest man overnight. We'll let you all figure that out, of course. And every time I work at night, man, you get me through pretty much most of my shift, man. I just want to say thanks for all your hard work and just, you know, all the effort you put into everything, man.
Thank you. I love doing this stuff, man. I really do, and I really appreciate that comment because. You know, it's and everyone who listens, I really appreciate that because there's nights like I just don't want to do it, you know, and I'm like, oh, I'm tired. And then like, no, I gotta sit down and like prep something out, you know, and then do it because it does bring me a lot of joy. So thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
No, you're welcome, man. Welcome, man. You totally deserve it, man. And again, thanks for all the hard work and, you know, anything you do, whether it's this, patio commentary, anything else, you know, I'm a fan for the rest of my life. As long as you do nothing crazy.
Again, nothing crazy again. I have made mistakes, sir. I have made a lot of mistakes. Seriously, don't go looking though. All right. That's if you like me here, just stay here. We're good here. Don't go. But no, I need to do more patio commentary. I'm just trying to figure out how to frame it properly. Just to like, you know, be more of, I'm just trying to rework it because I kind of wrote myself into what I feel like is this kind of corner with it. And like, for example, like, you know, like some movies you can go into full production history, other movies you can't. So it's like, how can you talk about something, especially streaming movies? None of that stuff is chronicled, you know? There's really not a lot there that's chronicled. So it's like, how do I talk about, like, I wanted to do one on Kate and because it just came out. So again, that's how you got to get in the algorithm and buy new things. And I spent like an hour and a half and I'm just like finding not much. You know, like there was like no interview with the writer. He sold the script to Netflix back in 2017. 4 years ago, sold the script to Netflix. It was a Blacklist script. Guy's done really nothing since then. No social media presence, no interviews. The director only gave like a couple interviews. It was just, there's like nothing there. And it's like, okay, that's going to be a problem going forward. Because the other thing too is I don't want to go back. Like, okay, so I listen to other movie podcasts, right? And like, I like a lot of the discussion streams, but I feel like it's always kind of the same stuff. It's all like, hey, let's talk about John Carpenter's The Thing. Because who doesn't love that movie? Everyone loves that fucking movie. But it's like, I talked about it, sure. But, you know, I'm like, everyone has kind of talked about it. So are you going to want to listen to like another fat, bearded, bespectacled 40-year-old man talk about a John Carpenter film from the year he was born? You know, you've heard it already. For the most part, but it's like, but otherwise like, oh, let's talk about something new, something maybe smaller, something you may not know about and you may want to be interested in, you know, and checking it out and whatever. That's what I would love to do because I want to get people watching things because I also want to watch things. Like that's how hyped up I want to get. And I'm just trying to figure it out. And it really is timing, but I'm trying to figure it all out. I just like doing the Stranger Days stuff because sometimes movies are just too much and I like to dive into weirder shit, you know, like stuff that's not related to entertainment, like missing persons, true crime stuff. Cause I'm really fascinated by the detective work. And that's where I get a lot of inspiration is by going down those rabbit holes because, you know, that's real life shit. And I think even earlier this year, I think I interviewed an actual murderer And I'm waiting. I think like it literally gave me enough pause to go, maybe I've gone too far with this. Maybe I need to back off a little bit, because I think I literally spent an hour and a half talking to a woman who killed the guy she was sleeping with and then dumped his body in the Mississippi River. That's what I believe happened. And I can't release that audio until she either gets arrested and convicted, because that's how I'm covering my ass. But like, I have the recording.
Okay.
Yeah,
right,
yeah. Like, I'm into a lot of shit. All right. Like, I'm into a lot of stuff here, but it's like, yeah, that fucking was weird. That whole situation. I can't when I can talk about it, I fucked up bad. That's what you need to know. Like, I kind of let myself get manipulated a little bit, and I shouldn't have. No, not by the murderer, by the dude. Okay, fuck, I'll say it. So the woman in question, like, had been accused. So this town has got like 73 people in it. Everyone knows everyone. Guy goes missing, presumed dead. Whatever, right? So her family, or his family and friends, basically accused this lady. And I covered it in an episode of Milk Carton Mysteries last year. And then she reached out to me to kind of clear her name, because there had been another accusation that she had murdered her other husband many years ago. And that's what she wanted to argue back against, was like the accusation that she killed her husband. Because I said, this is what people in town are saying. So I said, all right, let's set up an interview. And I told her I was going to be recording and everything else. And then at the same time, I like had reached out to someone else who was familiar with the case and looking for the guy. And I'm like, hey, what do you know about this woman? I'm going to talk to her. Is there anything I should know? That was kind of bad, because this one woman was insane. The one I talked to, the friends of the guy, she put me in contact with kind of like the leader of the boots on the ground movement. And we started comparing and contrasting. But then that woman had said, hey, can you like send me the audio so I can compare it? And I was like, I don't know if I should, but she's like, look, our friend is missing. We think she did it. This is what she has told the authorities. What she told you apparently is different. And I'm like, all right, don't share this. You and I will compare notes. Yeah, that didn't fucking happen. That didn't happen. So she put it in a Dropbox file that his parents had access to. And his dad started kind of using that. Like, his dad contacted me about it, and, somehow got my contact info and was hitting me up and was like doing that whole, like, hey, my son, you know how it is. I got kids. So like, he's all like, oh, I just want to know. And I'm like, all right, fine. Listen to it, but do not contact her. All right. Motherfucker listens to it, calls her, threatens to kill her. Jeez. And I'm like, fuck. It's my fault. It is my fault. Like, that was like, I got baited into it. It was one of those things. I got baited into it. And I'm just like, all right. And then after that, I just kind of dipped out. I'm like, you know what? Like, you guys, because it's just like, this is a den of shit. And I'm like, and then I found out that they took the recording and they gave it to the feds, who are like looking into the missing persons case. And I'm like, well, if you need me, here's my number. But in the meantime, I pretty much blocked everybody. And I just like, and I stopped doing Milk Carton Mysteries. So if anyone had followed that and wondered why there was an abrupt cancellation of that show, and I liked doing it too, that was the reason why. Was because I was an idiot and I got too close to this situation. And then I allowed myself to become emotionally compromised. And it takes a lot for me to become emotionally compromised. But like, I got emotionally compromised, and not that I feel like I fucked anything up, but it's like, I got permission. She knew I was recording, so I'm not worried about that. But it's like, I don't want to, I don't want her to freak out and like hide shit, sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, I just dropped it. I haven't even checked in on it in months. I'm just like, I'm waiting to see if the name pops up in any kind of thing. Like there was a case. But the weirdest thing in this conversation with this woman was that she started talking to me about like true crime shows. Okay. And she starts talking about dumping a body in the Mississippi River. And like how you couldn't really find a body in the Mississippi River. Or no, sorry. She's like how easy it is to find a body in the Mississippi River. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like, I know that they don't find bodies in the Mississippi River very often, but she was trying to like formulate this argument where she was trying to tell me that, like, I think she was trying to tell me what happened, but without saying it,
Is this like a Carol Baskin situation from,
no, I wouldn't go as far. I mean, like, it feels like it's similar, but this is a bunch of like Okies. You know what I mean? Like this guy, he disappeared from the house and he left his wallet, his cell phone, his shirt, his pants, his shoes, and his teeth. He had recently had surgery to get new teeth. And so he had a false set of teeth. And he ended up, that was all, everything was left behind. And apparently there was like blood that was found there and a whole bunch of stuff. And like, she explained that she had like a really heavy flow on her period. And I'm like, girl, what? Like, wait, this whole thing is nuts. So that is ultimately what kind of killed my venture into true crime currently. I still love it. I love the investigation. I love going down rabbit holes and everything. But that's one of the reasons why I'm like, let me just talk about movies. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna like make mortal enemies talking about movies, I guess.
Yeah, it seems safer, and nobody's gonna get hurt probably. And...
Yeah. But then I come out and I accuse the Phantom Menace of basically engaging in McCarthyism 2.0. I don't really learn my lesson, is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, that is some Jarbo lore on that one. I don't talk about that very often, but there you go.
All right. Well, I mean, hey, hope everything turns out okay with that one there for everyone involved.
You never know what's gonna happen. I'm a weird dude. I'm a weird guy. I get into some shit sometimes, so yeah. But I know it's weird. I totally dropped that bombshell on you, and I apologize.
Hey, it's all good. Don't trust me. I stay in a pretty, I won't say a strange city, but I mean, a lot of strange shit happens where I'm at, so I get it.
Oh yeah, I like weird stuff. You just never know what you're going to find, and it keeps things interesting. Otherwise, this last year has sucked, So at least there's that. But all right, buddy, I'll let you go, man. I really appreciate you calling on in and listening to me ramble on.
No problem, Matt. I appreciate everything you do, man. I'll talk to you later, and you have a good rest of your night, man.
You too. Thank you very much, buddy.
All right, take care.
Thank you. All right. That was a story. Elmo here says, Matt, you're a mob boss. No, I'm not a mob boss, dude. I just been in some weird shit. Andrew here talking about the whole thing with the deep fake stuff. Said at this point you're describing the plot of Simone. Yeah. Isn't it Simon or I'm like with a 1 instead of an I. And then Shogun here for $5 says I think they had to CGI the titty milk because Mark didn't want to do that scene knowingly. I don't know why I don't know why they CG'd the titty milk. Even the dude who did it, even the guy who did it on Twitter was like, I don't know why. People were asking like, why? And then there's like, I don't know. It just happens. So there you go on that one. But all right, let's get to, since I always kind of, let's bring in John, Tony, and RJ because I do have to wrap this thing up here pretty soon. It's close to 1 a.m.
I wasn't supposed to be here. Saggy was in here getting ready to troll, and I just wanted to see what was going to happen. So I was just in the back.
Oh, Saggy left.
I know. She told me.
She's like, I'm waiting too long. I'm like, hey, you got here late, and you did not, say what you wanted to do to me privately. That sounds kind of. Hold on, let me rephrase that. You did not didn't say what you wanted to do privately.
So I'm just here. I'm just listening in. So.
All right, this has kind of been a bit of a deep lore night,
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy stuff there. All right, guys, we'll just kind of like keep this as a roundtable for the last like maybe 10, 15 minutes. I know there's a couple Warhammer things to check out. So what's on your mind, everybody? How you guys all doing?
Nothing. Welcome to the weird.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
I'm doing good. Today's been a little bit of eventful. Last couple of days have been, but I've been I just got Destroy All Humans on PlayStation 4 because they just announced a sequel. I'm like, let me play that, and it's actually pretty fun. I played those games before.
Yeah, no, those are fun. That's the thing. You need to go back into the world of pandemic games. Battlefront 2, Destroy All Humans 1 and 2.
Well, I played the Battlefront games, the old ones, and I played Mercenaries too. I just never played Destroy All Humans. So.
Oh yeah, Mercenaries is fun. The first one was fun. The second one kind of sucked.
See, but I played the second one the most though, because on Xbox 360, I play the game all the time.
It came out at the same time as like that Grand Theft Auto 4 and Saints Row 2 all came out right around the same time. I'm not making that up. Grand Theft Auto was April 2008. And like August was Saints Row. And then right around that time was The Mercenaries 2.
Yeah. I wish they'd make a third game.
Well, that would be through EA. But because because BioWare and Pandemic became BioWare Pandemic, they merged not long after that.
But don't some of the rights from Pandemic go to other studios though? Like I know it went to Destroy All Humans went to THQ Nordic, for example.
They must have bought it then.
Or
maybe because THQ distributed it or published it. Maybe that's why. I don't know. I wish Pandemic would come back. I just thought they were like them and Majesco. They just made quirky games that were fun. And then they all, as always, these companies end up kind of getting bought up and being killed.
Yeah.
So, Jacob here says they're making Saints Row 5. Well, they're rebooting Saints Row.
Yeah, it's woke now, didn't you hear?
Because you can play as a woman?
No, because they made it look like Fortnite. It looks too goofy and SJWE. Like
have they not played fucking Saints Row 2?
I don't know.
Imagine thinking wokeism is bigger deal than it actually is.
Well, I mean, look, I will fully admit I played my part in that. A couple years ago, being like the anti-SJW crusader that I was for a long time. I added to that, and it's not good.
Well, you were principled in it, to be fair.
Well, yes, I agree. But the it's the unprincipled people that kind of made it bad for everybody. Anyway. Hold on. Kira here says Blood Rain 1 and 2 revamped are coming to newest gens. I would love to see that. That was Majesco. I loved. They were fun. I think Blood Rain was a franchise that kind of got like unnecessarily sidelined, and I blame the Uwe Boll film for that.
Yeah. Well, I think Way Forward's mostly been focused on Shantae anyway. They've kind of moved on a little bit from Blood Rain, so
No, I get that. It still sucks.
Speaking of games, Deltarune Chapter 2 just came out today.
What?
Deltarune, the spiritual sequel to Undertale from Toby Fox.
What?
You don't know what Undertale is?
No, I have a girlfriend.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
No, I know Undertale is
I have a cat.
I mean, pussy's pussy at the end of the day. No, I know what Undertale is. I've never played it. I mean, my brother was into it, and he's like, "Yeah, I can do this no kill run," and I'm like, "What? No kill? Like, what?"
Well, actually, the no kill run is like the canonical way to play the game. Technically, you're supposed to not kill anything. That's kind of the whole point.
I've been playing Dishonored. It's literally the same thing. So I
actually,
feel like.
By the way, I just bought Deathloop. I'm curious to check that game out.
Oh yeah, it's a fucking PS5 exclusive for a year.
I know, isn't that great? Last PlayStation game that we're gonna get from Bethesda for a while. So
no, they're gonna I think. Starfield,
sorry, Ghostwire Tokyo. That's gonna be another exclusive we get for a year.
I don't care about that one. But I also haven't seen anything on it yet, so maybe that's why. No, I mean, I do want to see what they're going to do with the PS5. I want to get one. I'll get one probably by the time I turn 40. So I got 6 months to go. I'm not in any rush. I got the Series S. I'm playing Dishonored. I'm going to go through Dishonored 2. By the time I finish those games, that 10th anniversary patch for Skyrim's going to come out. It's going to make it look all fucking sexy. And I'll be able to finish my Skyrim run, like having fun looking at updated next-gen graphics.
Hey, listen, considering there's a new Spider-Man game and a Wolverine coming exclusively to PlayStation, I mean, getting a PS5 is going to be a good investment as far as I'm concerned. So,
well, I'm not disagreeing with you on that front.
I'm just saying it's going to be a wise purchase for everyone to get a PlayStation 5 at this rate.
Well, I just wait for the price drop because I'm just cheap cheap SOB sometimes.
No, I get that.
I mean, it's
I shouldn't do it, but I always get consoles at launch. To be honest, I just do. I should wait, but FOMO is a bitch. So
Yeah,
oh,
I wasn't.
I don't suffer from that. So
You guys want to know my worst case of FOMO? I went to the Xbox 360 launch party in the Mojave Desert in 2005. And I went up there and I thought, like, I took my buds, we got tickets, we went, and it was all free. I'm thinking, like, all right, we're going to the fucking Mojave Desert, dude. You know they're gonna give us an Xbox, right? Like, you know they're gonna give it because we're showing up. They gotta give us an Xbox. Nope. But we had the ability to buy one and get one at 9 p.m., 3 hours before everybody else, because that's when it came out on the East Coast. And I'm like, $500 plus California sales tax.
wow.
And I'm like, I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna get it.
Wait, original Xbox or what Xbox?
No, the 360. The 360.
360. Okay.
The 360 with the hard drive.
Well, that was a ripoff. You probably red ringed.
It did.
Oh, that's
I knew
And
it would.
it did. It did. It red ringed.
How long did it take?
About 2 months. About 2 months to red ring.
Oh,
and then I sent it. I got a new one finally. That one red ringed about a year later. And then by that point, like, they were really hesitant to like take back red rings. They were really hesitant.
Oh well, it's your problem.
Pretty much. And then
that's why they had to come out with that revision so quickly.
Yeah. And then I got the what was it? I got another one. And no, that one I got. So the one I replaced a year later, that one lasted me. Until I got to LA, and then it started screwing up on me. And so I went and I found a Halo 3 edition Xbox 360 on sale from GameStop, where they said, "Oh, we've tested it. It's fine. It's going to be great."
Never trust GameStop with consoles.
It never fucking started.
Was it used or brand new?
It was used. It was used.
That's why I refused to buy used consoles from GameStop.
And then I ended up getting the Xbox 360 Slim. I traded in a bunch of shit. I got the Slim. Slim was perfect. I had great times with the Slim and no issue whatsoever for the next couple of years. And then I moved to Portland in 2015. This was April 2015. And literally like about 2 weeks later, Best Buy was running a deal and they're like, trade in your Xbox 360 Slim and get the Xbox One for only $150. And I'm like, fucking gone. I still have that Xbox One.
Was it worth it?
No.
Why?
Because the Xbox One kind of sucked. It wasn't a PS4. The PS4 is way better. Way better. The last time I played the Xbox One before getting a couple years later, I got the Xbox One X. Because people have been donating me Bitcoin. This is back in 2017. I got like donated some guy donated about, it would have been like upwards at the height. It was like over like $2,000 to big. I should have fucking held on. God damn it.
Yeah.
I should have held on. It went up to because I was sitting at like $2,000 based on what this guy gave me. And then I saw the crash start. Like, I'm like anticipating that crash. And I'm like, ooh, I better spend it. So I bought the Xbox One X from Newegg using crypto that a fan had given me, and I'd let kind of gestate for a while just to like get it out of the way, just to be done with it. And again, should have held the hell on. That was a big regret.
Yeah.
But no, and then I like the Xbox Series S, and then I bought a lot of games digital, so those are still there to get.
Well, I remember Bitcoin used to be 25 cents. And I thought about it, but I couldn't intellectually understand what the heck a Bitcoin was, But originally it was like 25 cents you could purchase a Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, no, I bought a lot in Ripple, right? A couple of years ago.
Okay.
I bought like a couple $100 in Ripple, and back when it was like 20, I think it was like 47 cents a coin, I think is what I bought it for.
Okay.
And then it dropped, it dropped to like 20 cents. So I've lost money, but then it went up a little bit, so if Ripple, ever has the blow up that fucking Bitcoin had, I've got like a couple hundred coins, you know,
Oh,
I'm sitting
yeah,
on that.
yeah.
And then if it ever blows up, like I can cash out, you know, maybe I can NFT something. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what I would NFT. I don't even know how any of that works. Like,
Well, I
so
mean, it's just unregulated stock. It's what it is, So
I know.
there's
It's going to get regulated
that-
before I even get into it. I know that.
yeah. Jim Cramer always says, sell half if you're going to get your profit out, sell half and keep the rest, just to see what happens.
Yeah.
So,
No, I definitely get that there. So, all right.
While I'm thinking
yeah.
of it, speaking of gaming, with KOTOR coming out or being remade, what other Star Wars games would any of us like to see?
Shadows of
done?
the Empire. Shadows of the Empire.
I was gonna say Jedi Academy.
I mean, that one is definitely up there, or like Jedi Outcast or something would be pretty, or Dark Forces would be pretty dope.
Well, the entire Kyle Katarn, and those Jedi games, all of them.
Yeah.
oh, I haven't played Star Wars Squadron for a month now. I mean, I got the
I
VR
haven't
headset. I got the laptop. It plays great, and I just die. And you realize I'm not getting any better. This is a waste of my time.
I'm not.
know.
Squadrons is great if you're into flight simulator games. I'm not really. I mean, it's fun to play with friends, but it's like, it's not really my kind of game.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I feel bad that like I was all excited for it. I don't like its controls. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's just.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like a flight sim dream. If you really like flight sim games, it's perfect for you. But if you're not really more into like more casual with that kind of stuff, it's not as fun.
No, yeah, that's kind. I mean, I get that. Yeah, that's kind of the whole point. Is like, I'm just like, man, because I got it and like it's cool, and then I'm like, God, I fucking hate flight sims. And then because like I'm trying to play it on like my TV. I have a bigger TV now. Maybe I should try it again.
Oh, that's impossible in my opinion.
To play on a bigger TV?
Yeah, it's just. I mean, I got the VR set just because it's the flight sim. Play it that way.
Yeah.
But I messed up my controls and I don't know how to fix it. I mean, I went online looking for how do you adjust controls so you don't keep overshooting. So you can get
shoot! I didn't know Jedi Academy was on PlayStation 4. I'm going to have to buy that.
Yeah, it is. They also put out Republic Commando too.
Damn, I had to buy. Yeah, it's all by Aspire. He's remaking KOTOR from the ground up. So I'll be curious to see.
What else has Aspire done though?
That's a great question. I'll look them up right now. I don't think they've ever made a game like this though. They've done remasters and stuff, but not like a full blown remake. Let's see. List of game. So they're a port company. They port video games. So yeah, they work on ports of video games, not necessarily their own kind of games.
Okay.
So this is really interesting because it seems like it's going to be like them porting like a new remaster, but it's going to be a remake from the ground up. And apparently they have some like ex-BioWare developers, some people who worked on the original working on it with them. So, yeah.
Well, I'm wondering if what they're going to do is like focus more on like, let's say how Final Fantasy VII's remake updated the combat. Because, I mean, like the combat system from KOTOR would not fly in 2021.
Yeah, well, so I'm looking at the Wikipedia page, right? So apparently Jennifer Hale's going to come back as Bastila. And then Jason Schreier was the one who broke the news about it, and they're saying that there's speculation that, let's see, it's going to include parts of both KOTOR 1 and 2 story and establish some of the lore from these games to be in the official Star Wars canon. Something that Disney seems to be keen on as it spins off Star Wars off into new books, TV shows, movies, and games.
Yeah.
So this remake might canonize KOTOR.
Well, they've already kind of canonized KOTOR. Kind of. In the Rise of Skywalker art book, Revan is mentioned.
Revan, yeah.
Well, they mentioned him, but you never he was supposed to be in Clone Wars, but they cut that scene out.
Yeah. Well, how much you want to bet? And I just, this is again just speculation that they're going to update KOTOR. So they might say the Old Republic is really just before the events of the High Republic, putting it closer to the time frame.
It's possible. What they're gonna drop like a TLC quest line where it's like, let's talk about the acolyte or the master of the acolyte or something. You know,
Something. I just have a feeling like,
it's possible. You know,
yeah.
listen, I just love KOTOR. I love those characters: Mission, Bastila, Karth, Revan, Malik. I mean, there's some amazing stories and characters in that game, so I'm looking forward to the remake. You know, I want to see gameplay and how it looks, though. Because like I said, Asper's only done ports and remasters. They never made a game of their own like this.
Yeah. Speaking of Revan, I think they wanted to bring Starkiller back for Rebels as an Inquisitor, but they didn't do that either. So
Yeah, I mean, there's been rumors they want to do another Force Unleashed game, but I think they'd probably have to like just do either a remaster, or, like heavily change the storyline and concept, because you can't obviously do Starkiller, who's like the secret apprentice of Darth Vader. You know.
I would love to see them figure out a way to do that, because they might at some point.
Just give Sam Witwer more work, you know. Hell, I'll take a Darth Maul game. You know, it's timed leading Crimson Dawn or whatever. Or whatever
Well, I mean,
organization he's running.
isn't Maul going to be alive by the Obi-Wan series?
and he's already dead, I think.
No, he dies right before A New
Yeah,
Hope.
Rebels, yeah, but that depends on when Kenobi actually takes place.
Kenobi
10 years. 10 years.
So that should be before Rebels.
Yeah, it should be before Rebels, I think. But no, they can't do that, because in Rebels they established that was the first time they've met since the Clone Wars. So they can't meet until Rebels.
Yeah.
They want to do the same thing with Vader, or all these rumors anyway.
Well, the Vader thing is a little more vague, where it's not. You can skirt around a little bit. The Darth Maul thing's pretty definitive, though. So
yeah, but
whatever brings in the bucks.
Yes, it is, Matt. Yes, you can't break canon in Rebels. I'm sorry.
You can.
No,
you can.
No, the whole story of Rebels that they hadn't met since the Clone Wars. It doesn't work if they've met before.
Well, what if they don't meet per se? But what if Maul makes an appearance?
What would he do? Just stand there?
Well, okay. Hear me out. What if Maul is still running the criminal underworld? Right? It's all about Crimson Dawn. Okay? Like what's behind Crimson Dawn? Mm-hmm. That was active at the end of the Clone Wars, because we see Dryden Voss in the Siege of Mandalore, at least through a hologram. So at this point, Maul is going to be heavily working against the Empire, probably, right? Raising whatever money he needs to get, or doing all that stuff. And that's going to be right again a couple years before the events of Solo. Mm-hmm. So what if we get a little bit of what if we get a little bit of Kira popping up, a little bit of that? What if they go to Coruscant? Not Coruscant, Corellia.
I think you could possibly see Kira pop up in Obi-Wan, or get her own show, or pop up in the Lando show. Because Solo takes place right after Episode 3, right? At least a couple years after.
No, it's
5 years, isn't it?
It's before Rogue One, for sure.
Let's see. Yeah, hold on. When is Solo in the Star Wars timeline? Okay. Solo's a Star Wars story. Takes place 13 minus 10 BB. Oh my god, I hate that shit.
10 years before A New Hope.
Yeah. So 13 to 10 years before. Yeah. So that would put it, oh my god. That would put it around the same time as Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my god. Guys.
Han Solo confirmed.
What if?
He's gonna run Chewbacca.
Because didn't it always kind of seem like Han maybe knew Obi-Wan in A New Hope? Or Obi-Wan knew of Han.
That seems a little more likely, potentially.
Yeah.
Well, that makes
wait a minute,
sense.
though. When he and Skywalker first meet Han, he's never heard of the Millennium Falcon before.
Well, it's just a ship. I mean,
Yeah, maybe the name Han Solo.
he went straight to Mos Eisley, so
I mean, that's where he was going at the end of Solo. Yeah.
Yeah. So it makes sense that.
Yeah, when I wrap the show up, I'm gonna go watch Solo. I'm just gonna go lay in bed. I haven't watched What If yet, but I'm gonna go watch Solo.
Not caught up with What If
I
yet,
have been busy.
Oh my god!
I have been busy.
But you just said you're gonna watch Solo
because it's Star Wars.
Well, speaking of the characters from that movie, Kira does have her own comics that's going on right now.
Yeah, she's getting her own comic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Them bringing her back is sorry, go ahead.
It's right in between episodes 4 and 5. Han is still frozen at this point in time, so she's kind of running around with all these bounty hunters. So, and she even had an encounter with Vader too.
Yes, I mean I don't know what they're gonna. I mean, look, them bringing her back is there's a reason why they're bringing her back. There's a reason why. There's They want to reintroduce it in order to reintroduce her, because once they're done with Emilia Clarke and Secret Invasion, she's going to have open time on her hands. And it's like, hey, we're getting ready to start filming Lando, right? Or Obi-Wan season 2?
Maybe.
I don't think they're going to do an Obi-Wan season 2. I think this was a one and done thing, but
it's probably a one-off, but hey, spinoff could happen.
Well, no, because that's the whole point. They're gonna give us shows in between episodes, 6 and 7. Obviously, Mando's timeline, and then I think they're going to establish a lead-in to the original trilogy as well. That is also going to establish elements of the sequel trilogy, because the Bad Batch kind of did a little bit of that. They were tossing some breadcrumbs out there. They were tossing some hints, and clearly, Mando season 2 has. Did I lose you guys?
No.
Okay.
I was listening, and it's possible. I mean, I just want Book of Boba Fett already. I just want it to be December.
I know. I'm waiting for.
I know Robert Rodriguez was saying you ain't never seen fights like this in Star Wars before. I'm just like, yes.
Oh, he's hyping it up He's hyping it up pretty hard.
I know. So they better make sure he doesn't underdeliver. That's all I got to say.
I don't think he'll underdeliver, but at the same time, I'm kind of like holding. And I would say I'm holding out hope. I just want to see a fucking trailer. That's what I want to see. I just want to see a trailer.
I just want to see a trailer that ends with Boba Fett being like, "Sup, fellas," and there's Bosk, Dengar, IG-88, all of them.
I would assume that that's probably going to happen.
Oh yeah, it's like 1,000% going to happen. I can't wait.
Well, the whole War for the Bounty Hunters, comic run right now, like that's good. Like that's clearly setting up for that.
Yeah, totally. Question is though, will we see a Hutt? Didn't Jabba have that little baby from Clone Wars?
Yeah,
we don't talk about that.
Yeah, what do you mean? Of course we talk about Stinky.
God, that was like.
Hey, listen, if anyone can make Stinky cool, it'll be Dave Filoni bringing that character back for Book of Boba Fett.
Well, I mean, by the time that the character, is around, the character will probably be like an elderly one, So that's kind of something there to consider, I think. We'll have to just.
I'm just saying, Stinky's gonna be there, and then Omega's gonna be there. They have a lot of cameos, I guarantee you, in that show.
I do believe that Omega is gonna show up. I do. I really believe that Omega is gonna make an appearance.
Yeah, Omega's gonna show up and talk to Boba, be like, Boba, we gotta go talk to Stinky Fett.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If there's going to be a fart joke, there's going to be a Stinky Fett.
Or Ahsoka's going to be like, "Remember me, bitch?
Remember me? I saved your life when you were a baby. You owe me a life debt."
That's I could actually probably
And then
see
Stinky's
that.
like, "Oh, Ahsoka, you look different." Okay.
Yeah.
he probably has like a mommy complex with her or something.
I really hope. Well, I mean, like, well, is hold on. Did they kill Zero Fett in Clone Wars?
Zero the Hutt? I think they
Zero the
did,
Hutt.
yeah.
Yeah, I think they killed him. Yeah, that was a weird Truman Capote performance on that character.
Yeah. I'm looking. Yeah, he died in. Yeah, he died. He was left for dead on Teth.
Left for Dead doesn't mean dead, RJ.
I could have sworn he died though. Like I could have sworn the Jedi and Cad Bane found him dead.
Oh no, it says here he was ultimately murdered in 21 BBY by the Palawick singer Cy Snoodles, Zero's one-time lover, whom Jabba hired to kill his uncle and retrieve the Hutt Council records.
Do you know who Snoodles is?
Yes.
Part of the Max Rebo band?
Yeah, the Max Rebo band.
They finally gave that character something to do.
There you go. Now when you see the remastered scene in Return of the Jedi, you can be like, oh, it's her. She killed Zero the Hutt.
She's a heartless bitch. That's what it's going to be. She's a heartless bitch. You killed my boy Zero. What did he ever do to you? What did he ever do to you? Wait, hold on. Was Daisy Ridley in Harry Potter?
No,
I don't think so.
She was in Harry Potter. People would have known already.
Yeah, I don't think we'd ever really heard of her up until she became Rey.
No, she was unknown. Although, who knows? You know, Fantastic Beast 4, if they ever make that, she could play.
No, I don't think that's going to happen.
Oh, no. That franchise is dead. I know.
That franchise is, yeah, they're going to find a way to wrap it up in this movie. Like, well, we were going to do 5 movies, but does anyone
We're cutting
really
it short
care?
to 3. We're just going to, skirt it off. Hey, we're doing a remake. We're doing Cursed Child on HBO Max.
Is that because of the whole Johnny Depp thing? Or
No, it's because the movies have failed at the box office and they've been critically panned. Nobody cares.
Well, there is the Johnny Depp thing.
Well, yeah, it affects it, but...
yeah, that's a big thing, and because a lot of fans like Johnny Depp, you know, like it's them saying, "Oh, we're gonna recast
well, it's
Captain Jack."
Yeah, it's the public hypocrisy. They're getting rid of Johnny Depp and throwing him out to the coals, but Amber Heard gets to keep her job, right? So it's that public hypocrisy that people are like not happy about. And the Johnny Depp case, I feel like, is in the mainstream enough to where I think, you know, if people are already like wary about this movie anyway because they didn't like Crimes of Grindelwald, they're not going to go see this. They're just not.
I mean, I'm going to watch it because, like, why
I'll
not?
watch it when it hits HBO Max. Okay, no, that's a lie. Because I have a lot of Harry Potter fans in my family, I probably will be dragged.
You are so going to go see it. Don't even trip. Don't even trip, RJ. Oh, yeah, no, whatever. Hold on here. Real Elmo Cinema as a super chat for you here, RJ, for $5. Says, question for Reeves Justice. Are you going to be doing that comic book review series?
I'm hoping to. I might have to delay the recording of it because I'm still catching. Because I got a Marvel Unlimited subscription, so I'm going through Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil run. It's fucking great. I loved it. But I'm not done with it yet, so it might take a couple of days. But yeah, I want to review more comics on the channel. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be. That's one of the things that I think would be fun to do too. I asked that question, like, what is the most oversaturated content on YouTube for nerd stuff, and like movies, comics, games, and comics surprisingly got like the lowest one.
Well, because most of the big comic stuff on YouTube is Comicsgate, so you know.
Oh yeah.
No one's really going to be reviewing Marvel comics because you know they're horrible and woe.
And no one's reading them. Although, I mean, look, to be fair, there is a website where like all the latest comics are uploaded in high def, and like
most people use it. To be honest, even the YouTube content creators.
Yeah, I figured as much. It's like all the people at Midnight's Edge that are like down with CBS All Access, and then magically have.
And this is
Star
why
Trek.
this is why comics need to adopt the model that Viz Media did with the Shonen Jump app. Have it to where the backlog you pay a subscription for, you pay like $3 a month, $10 a month, whatever. But the new issues that come out, let's say for Batman or Spider-Man, you get for free for like the first 3. So you get the newest issue for free, and you get to keep it for free for 3 weeks. And after that, it goes back to the backlog, and you have to pay the subscription to get access to the backlog. Be so much easier. It would boost sales. It would boost attention for those books. But no, they're going to keep charging you $5 for a Batman book every 2 weeks. It's dumb. They got to change the model for how they release that stuff. I guarantee you comics would be bigger if they adopted a model like manga's doing with Shonen Jump.
Well, I think a big part of it ultimately is that comic books are kind of like the number one entertainment property for movies, but that does not translate to sales in the slightest.
Well, that's why manga is kicking comics' ass, is because it's more easily accessible. Okay, I want to start reading My Hero Academia. Where the fuck do I start? Oh, get the Shonen Jump app, pay $3 a month, start with chapter 1. And you can read the newest chapters when they come out every Sunday. Easy peasy, right? How do I get into Batman? Well, there's like 8 different runs, and there's like a crossover event. You need to pick up Starfire to understand this thing, and it's like $5 a month for each. But this issue's $12 because it has like an extra 40 pages of fluff and extra stories. It's like, well, do they matter? I don't know. Read a couple of them. They might give you a backstory. One of the villains coming in the next crossover. But it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and that's honestly that's the thing. Like, again, I talked about that earlier with like the linear storytelling. Linear storytelling is like, give me linear storytelling. I'm fine with that. Give me the chapter by chapter to go through this. When it's like, if it's a run, I get that, but keep it in somewhat of the continuity. I guess I don't know. It's
like
kind of ridiculous.
Well, some of them do. Some of them, like the Daredevil run I'm reading right now, is like a direct continuation off the last one, right? Even though it's a brand new series, it continues the story off it with a new writer. It works just fine as a standalone thing, but it's like, I don't envy anyone who's trying to get into comics who's like brand new to the medium, because it's really fucking complicated. And they need an update for the times. They really, really do. Someone over there needs to be smart and look like, we need to go digital, and we need to like become like the Shonen Jump app. That is the perfect model for how to release comic books today. It really, really is.
No, I understand that. I think you have a point there. But again, these companies, they don't care. I know
it's because it's tied into comic book shops too. And I say this as someone who loves comic book shops. But eventually, these companies care about maximizing their profits, and they're going to cut out the middleman eventually. Which is why they're going to cut out people like Diamond for publishing, and they're going to cut out the comic book shops eventually and let them die. Which sucks. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying, like, eventually that's the model they're gonna go after. So,
yeah. Well, I think we've all kind of seen that coming. Like, it doesn't surprise me. Although, real quick here, Command Unit here with Super Chat says Jar Jar Binks will definitely return.
I hope he does. I really hope he does. There was a rumor that he was going to be in Obi-Wan, but apparently Ahmed Best is like, nope, not true. And I'm like,
well, did they do another season of that Star Wars like kids take on the Hidden Temple?
I have no clue.
I tried watching it. Like, it's for kids, obviously. Like, all right, it's not for me, but it's like, 'cause I know like around the same time that came out, like that Netflix put out The Floor is Lava. Did you guys ever see The Floor is Lava?
Nope.
So the show, okay, the game The Floor is Lava, right?
Yeah, you can't touch the floor.
I actually don't know it.
Okay, so The Floor is Lava is you just can't touch the floor. So you got to get across the room. How do you get across the room? You like climb on the couch, you jump on the coffee table, you climb on the shelves, whatever you need to do to get there. So they made a game show out of it, and it's for adults. And like it's called The Floor is Lava. It's on Netflix. And it's like it's fun. It kind of outlives its its novelty pretty quick. But it's entertaining enough. And like, that was a big thing at the beginning of the pandemic. I think people were like, oh, really like, yeah, awesome. Like, a game show for adults. And then it's like, that went away pretty quick. I don't even know, like, is that still going on?
Have you watched that Netflix, what was it, that dating show where they dress up in like weird masks to like inner beauty versus outer beauty? Will they still fall in love even though they're dressed up like hideous monsters? Or that's just
no. I know that I've seen the trailer. I've seen the trailer.
Yeah, it was trendy when it came out. Everyone was making fun of it and talking about it.
I think what was it? I think it's like Saggy was really talking about it. It just seemed I don't like. I get why they have to have it. I do. I understand why they have to have
It's that discovery type content.
Yeah. Again, it's like it's very cheaply made, and it's got a
good hook.
You know, it's got a hook to it. Yeah. The whole point of it is just like.
That's
like,
why
yeah.
that like 90 Day Fiance thing is so popular. Like, you know, those reality shows, like they need that kind of stuff, that fluffy content, because it hooks in the middle-aged moms and aunts, you know.
God, I can't stand wine moms. I'm just saying, I just can't stand wine moms. You know, it's like, oh my God, did you watch the Sexy Beasts Netflix show? It was so good. Like the gigantic rat was going to sleep with the magnetic spider. I was really surprised that both of them were utterly attractive underneath those masks. Like you think they're horribly ugly people because, you know, art generally imitates life, but no, they were attractive. It was amazing. Blew my mind. Fucking goddamn it. Anyways, I don't know where the fuck that voice came from. I just like out of Fringer says Netflix is dying a slow death. It's not actually, but you know.
I think they're reaching a case though, where sometimes I feel like they're pushing out quantity over quality.
Well, during a pandemic, they've upped it. They've absolutely upped it. But they also go through, like, remember a couple years ago, it was like one new comedy special a week.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it feels like the stuff on Netflix doesn't have any staying power anymore. It's just like there's nothing, like every once in a while there'll be something that has like some impact and some weight to it that feels like some meaty piece of content that like you get absorbed in and you love. But then it's like you gotta wait another like 3 months for something of substance to get released. You know?
Well, I mean, look at The Witcher, right? You know, it came out 2 years ago almost.
Yeah, what was it, December 2019?
Yeah, and then now it's gonna be, you know, now it's gonna be coming out finally this December. It's like, yeah, they need to start like they don't need to like pump and dump content. They can curate content. But they're also, I mean, this year they're doing what is it? They're doing one movie a week.
Bebop.
Well, no, but I mean, outside of that, they're doing like one movie a week. But they are trying to build things
one
up.
movie a week, and how many of those movies have you actually heard people talk about for any extended period of time?
No, none of them. Like,
maybe,
I mean,
Fear Street.
Fear Street, because they did that. That Fear Street worked out.
And
people were talking about that.
Army of the Dead. That's pretty much it.
Yes.
Well, okay, Mitchell's versus the Machine. So you got 3.
Oh yeah. That was good. We've watched that a bunch actually in the house. We've watched that one a bunch. So I mean that's kind of the whole point. Is like, you know, we were watching it again. We were watching Boss Baby Family Business again today. You know?
I saw it in the theaters.
How was it?
It's a cute
It's
movie.
not that bad. It's cute.
No Tobey Maguire, no buy. I kid. Well, Tobey Maguire voiced the adult version of the kid from the first one.
Yeah, but
the second one,
but James Marsden did a good job. He did a good job.
I love James Marsden, but that guy will not say no to a good paycheck. That guy will be in anything. He'll be in the freaking Hot movie, Sonic, Boss Baby 2. That guy, listen, he's a working actor. That guy respect it, but it's like I just think it's funny. Just like
the Nicolas Cage method.
Yeah, guys like Sam Jackson, Christopher Walken, they do the same thing. They'll be in anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about Sam Jackson.
No, Bruce Willis right now is the worst one because like
Bruce Willis is horrible.
Oh. Go ahead.
Oh no. Hold on here. All right. Anyway, sorry. It's like,
what, you see a ghost in the corner of your eye?
No. I'm surfing around and then like I've been following that Gabby Petito case, and then I just saw a thing and it's all like Gabby Petito found dead. I'm like, fuck, what? You know? What? And so what? No. I can't confirm that. It's I can't confirm that.
Yeah, I don't know much about that, so I got to watch some videos on that.
I did go through and covered the timeline as of today, and then of course something happened as soon as I hit publish. Like literally, as soon as I hit publish, I look over and it's all like, oh yeah, so the boyfriend ran away. What?
Oh fuck!
Oh, is that guy that's no? Is that redhead guy?
No, no, he's bald. The whole story's kind of crazy. Like I mean, I summarized it, but like, you know, I think it's a good summarization because I dug into some stuff. But All right, let's get because I do got to start winding this thing down. We're almost at 3 hours. It's been a very quick 3 hours.
I will have to dip, but great call-in show. Nice talking to all y'all. To see you guys later.
Thanks a lot, buddy. Have a good one, man. Get some sleep.
Yeah, RJ. And while I'm thinking of it too, I know we were mentioning green titty milk from The Last Jedi. According to Mark Hamill, that was actual liquid.
Okay, because
he said it was a coconut juice that was dyed green in post production. So,
well, I mean, like they might have used it for like the. Did he taste it?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I guess maybe the liquid was real, but like the bottle was fake. Again, I don't know why.
It was just I was just thinking about that. I wanted to point that out while we were still on the line. So
sure. Yeah, that's kind of weird. All right. Anyway.
All right. So
let's couple quick things to look at here. This is the Necromunda hired gun reveal trailer. This is I've been kind of Warhammer 40K balling command unit all week. So we'll do it Friday. I didn't go last night, so we'll do it tonight. And this is what he wants us to take a look at. So if Ray is still here, get hype.
This city's warped. The Esches are running wild. The Goliaths have gone underground. And something much worse is on the rise. It's damn good for business. Don't take it personally, friend. There are only 3 things I trust in this life. The money, my Mastiff, and my autogun. When it comes to hunting marks in the Hive City, there's only one thing you need to know. The house always wins.
Oh, wow, that was pretty. That was pretty good.
That voice kind of sounds like D. Bradley Baker. If I'm trying to say it myself.
Maybe. Here's another one. This is the launch trailer. That was a reveal trailer. This is the launch trailer. So about the same length. Double check that it's not the same thing. I don't think it is. No, it's different. All right, let's see.
Yeah, okay. Let's go. Necromunda is the greatest hive world in all of the Imperium, with cities that rise from the ash wastes, like sheer mountain peaks. Hired guns navigate the ocean of crime and corruption to balance this bloody ecosystem. So what's ailing you, stranger? Is it the gangs, the mutants, or the heretics? For the right price, we can be your weapon. And weapons don't differentiate.
All right. That looked pretty cool. What do you guys think? Or did you guys see it?
Oh, I was just wondering how many lines to cook it took for them to write Warhammer in the first place.
You know what? A very interesting imagination probably came from that. So that's that's definitely something there. I think it's it looked cool.
Oh,
I mean, it's
yeah.
on consoles, so I'll you know what? I can wait a little bit and I can just wait a little bit. I know it's maybe not something people want to hear. It's like, no, that kind of stuff will drop relatively quick. So I think a lot of people might be into it. Let me just hold on. Find this. Damn it. I always like get confused. I hate like when I'm trying to like double or what's the word? Multitask. I'm not good at that. I'm absolutely not good at that there, guys. But anyway, I mean that kind of brings us towards the end. If there's any last minute things you guys want to say.
Oh no, I'm just waiting for to see Cry Macho with what's his name?
Oh yeah, I don't have an interest in seeing that.
Oh, I'll see it. Just a curiosity. See Clint Eastwood before he finally croaks, or is he a robot already? I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I mean, while I don't have an interest to see this movie, I definitely will give credit to Clint Eastwood for like never stopping.
You look at Betty White. She's 99 years old. She's still kicking.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she's kicking pretty hard. She's dabbing. Hold on. Geeka Saddle here says, I watched a cutscene of this game. That trailer is a little misleading. How is it misleading? I don't know. It's is it just I haven't heard about it. Honest to God, I've just kind of like, I have not been paying that close attention to gaming for a while. Like, not much. It's just like, all right, I don't know. But okay, guys, let's see here. So as I said before, if you guys want to, we talked a little bit about the whole Gabby Petito thing. A couple times mentioned it. I will drop the link here in the chat for the it's a podcast. Remember, it's a podcast, so there's like not much. Just listen to it in the background.
Is this is not part of Milk Carton?
No. That's dead. Unfortunately, I hate that. But yeah, I know. But this is the Stranger Days thing that I've been working on. Again, it's just I want to like get into storytelling as time goes on. I have a friend of mine who keeps hitting me up, and he's like, hey, do you need an editor? And I'm like, I don't have any money. And he's like, no, I wouldn't charge you. He's like, I'm bored. And I'm like, okay, and he's worked for me before, and he's done work. He's done work for me before. And I like his work well enough. And he hits me today. He's like, you ever thought about doing like top 10 like videos? And I'm like, oh hell no, I ain't doing that shit. Like I used to do those. I used to run a channel called Forbidden Knowledge, and I would do top 10, top 5s or whatever. That was like 2015, when those were all the rage. And that shit takes a lot of time, like that stuff takes a lot of time to like figure out what it is, and then to go in and like write the script and like put the data together and everything else. And you might think, well, it's just listicles. How hard are listicles? It's like, well, if you're trying to be compelling about it, right? Like I did one on like gang tattoos for some reason. And that took me forever to go in and like find info on gang tattoos. And then edit that together. The video did pretty well, but it's funny. Did pretty well view wise, but like it was demonetized by YouTube. I'm like, you're fucking killing me, YouTube. You're fucking killing me.
It's easy just to do one video on one topic, I would imagine. Am I right?
Well, that's kind of what I'm doing. Yeah. So that's where it's like, I talked about the Gabby Petito thing, and that was kind of like even like a last minute thing. The other day, I did the woman who killed Nazis. This is about a 14-year-old, Nazi assassin. And I'm working on other little things too. It's like, that's what I was talking about, the Podio commentary. I just got to like find a way to like merge it into a discussion versus.
We can do a Strange 5.
Well, what I thought about doing is as a way to kind of like, I don't know if you guys have seen, I've been doing some YouTube shorts.
Yeah.
I'm posting them. I make those on TikTok, right? Like I make those on TikTok, and it's fucking, dude, I know I hate the fact that it's a Chinese owned company, but there's a lot of cool shit I can make one of those little videos in like fucking 5 minutes, and just like know what I want to say and bang it out and make it under a minute long. And then I can put it out on TikTok, and it automatically downloads it to my phone. I can then upload to Insta, to Twitter, and to YouTube within the next like 3 minutes. And then I'm like, it's out there and stuff. So I'm like, I could just like do, it's like do things like that. So it's like, I don't know if I want to do it like every day, but like when I want to talk about something, right? Like it's just fun. It's just short form content, and it's just like people just short form opinions. Versus, like, hey, watch like this 3-hour fucking live stream. I mean, but that being said, I do appreciate everyone who watches. Although I agree with Kira here. The moment Jarbo starts doing Watch Mojo style crap, I'm out. Me too. I don't want to do Watch Mojo stuff. I can't. I actually, believe it or not, I have Samsung. I have a Samsung TV, and they've got like free cable, free TV on there, right? And it's through like but they have a channel, and it was dedicated to gaming, and literally it was nothing but Watch Mojo. It was just Watch Mojo videos. That's all it was. And I'm like, how do you guys even license that out to be on this? You know, I mean, I don't.
Didn't.
They probably, yeah, because there's another channel where it's all like unsolved mysteries, and I'm like, that's where my TV's on that. So like, I lay down in bed, turn on the TV, put my headphones on, and I'm just like, all right, cool. Watch an unsolved mysteries. But then I found out that the unsolved mysteries, I think it's the old Robert Stack episodes, are apparently coming to Netflix.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, yes. Because the new stuff, like the new episodes are fun. Like they're okay. You know, they're in depth for like an hour, but I feel like they're missing the aesthetic of what made him great, which was Robert Stack's narration and like the 80s television music. You know, that stuff made it great back then. Now it's just kind of like, you know.
Oh, no, my secret shame is watching 1,000 Ways to Die. That was such a sarcastic, dark humor show. That's one of the shows I miss.
That was on Spike, wasn't it?
I think so.
Bill Shatner hosts that shit, does he not?
No, it was just a narrated voice, and they went on for quite a while, actually. I think it was Spike, or they showed it on Spike.
I don't remember. All I know, I mean, I've heard of it. I know some people who were in a couple episodes here. Hold on. Geek Settle here says, I checked out Twitch last night. Made me feel as old as Matt looks. Thank you, Dick. I'm in the same boat though. I log on to Twitch and I click on a channel and it's a woman in a bikini sucking on an ear. And I'm like, okay. You know, I came here for video games, and like she's got 10,000 people watching her suck on an ear.
Wait, is this Amaranth?
Yes.
I thought so.
Well, yeah. And like, she'll be live at like random. She's like uninteresting. She's not even that attractive. She's attractive, but it's like, what about her is like compelling? You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the whole point I talked earlier with sexuality and stuff.
Yeah. Hot women with big tits. It sells.
Yeah, I know. That's what I've been doing wrong all these years. I got to start putting more boobies in thumbnails, you guys.
That's just more pizzas for you.
I actually had pizza for dinner. I had cauliflower crust pizza.
Is that any good?
It's fucking delicious, dude. You put that
really?
Yeah, you put a little extra mozzarella on top, and like you add on a couple pepperonis because this is like vegetarian California crust pizza from Costco. But then you cook it at like what we have is like the raw. It's like the
air
pizza.
Fryers?
No, well, we have an air fryer, but you know the type of thing, pizza pan that's like not a pan, it's all rock.
Yeah, you put that in the oven first, right? Heat it up, then throw the pizza on top.
No, I don't do that, but maybe I should. But I have one of those things, and I put like, mozzarella on there and whatever. I cook it for like 425 for like 25 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, comes out looking great, tastes great. And then, yeah, I mean, that's what, it's like, it's good stuff. Like, I like pizza, and that's like healthier pizza. And I'm air quoting that, by the way. My doctor would probably say like,
Oh.
You want to get your A1C levels down, Mr. Diabetic. You don't want to go on fucking, insulin, do you? Like, no.
Yeah, I retorted to my doctor, look, you're taking the last joy I have in life.
That's it. It's a pizza stone. Yes, that's right, Kira. It's a pizza stone. Yeah, I know. I look at it, I'm just like, oh man, I would love, I love eating, but at the same time, I fucking hate it. Like, I'm just like, can I just like not eat? Is there a liquid diet I could go on that'd be fine for me? Anyway, now we're talking about food. It's 1:45 in the morning, and I'm kind of getting hungry, so I need to dip out and go and drink water.
Okay.
It's already going on 5 where I am. I'm on the East Coast, so.
Oh, that's cool. I got to go back and do schoolwork anyway. So
I'm just here to talk to people, so I've got nothing to lose.
I understand that. I definitely understand that. Well, all right, everyone. Thank you very much for coming on and hanging out for the last 3 hours. It's
No problem.
fun to do a good little call-in stream. It's been a while since we've done that. Probably do it again here next. Probably not every day. I mean, it'd be cool to do every day, but that would be a lot. And it would be a grind. It is a grind, actually. Yeah. I mean, I've been trying to keep it under I try to keep like an hour and a half or whatever, but like this, not gonna happen.
More often you do call-ins, it'll be just talking about like food and sex. So hey, what the hell?
God, that's something everyone needs, right? Food and sex. It's two components of life that are life building blocks. Food, sex, and then movies, and then death. Yes. Anyway. All right, everybody, go to bed, get some sleep.